And a good evening to everybody, and welcome to Reptile Rejects. I think we're now at episode 55. For this show,
Good
it's going to
evening.
be Yippee, right? It's going to be me and Shan. So, we hope everybody enjoys it. If you're listening to us right now live, we are on YouTube every Sunday at 7, and we apologize for missing last Sunday. I think it is literally the first Sunday we've ever missed
A
in
year.
the year, which is kind of crazy. But technically, there's no interruption because we were one show ahead. So technically speaking, we didn't even miss one. But Mike had some family complications, life changes, and he couldn't log on. And last minute, we ended up canceling. And I don't think Shan could come on. So, we took a week off and we're back. Moving forward, Mike has had some changes in his life, and he will let's just go with taking a step back for a little while. And
Excuse me.
it'll be me and Shan doing it for a little while. So it's just going to be a show just him and I today. And then we'll keep bringing on guests. He's going to take over the reins for Michael. I mean, he's doesn't have as much of the crazy hair that Mike does, but we're still going to keep him on anyway. And he'll keep
Those
the boat going.
those are pretty big shoes to fill, but we'll go with it. Sure.
I'd go with a big hat to fill more, but yeah,
Definitely better. Definitely better mustache.
yeah, that's right. But with age comes wisdom, right, Shan? So you're probably
Uh,
about double his age. So you know what? We're gonna expect slightly more wisdom,
Probably double and a bit.
double in a bit. There you go. Are you talking about the wisdom or the age now?
Both, actually. Definitely both.
Very nice, very nice. So today I think we're just gonna shoot the shit, do a little bit of catching up, talking about a couple of things that are happening in the reptile hobby, and kind of go from there. So I'll throw it to you, Shan, man. How have you been doing? What's new? I haven't seen you in over a few hours.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. So, it's been pretty busy. So I haven't been posting a lot because there's been a lot of stuff going on in my life. But overall, um, these spotted pythons are out. I haven't gotten pictures, but I actually have like 5 or 6 out of 11 eggs. I think 3 or 4 eggs kind of stillborn. Um, they kind of dried out in the egg. I still have one to come. I think I'll have 7 by the out of the 11. So 4 kind of went bad. But they look really good. They're so cute. I know, sad thing to say, cute, but they're pretty neat to see that small of a snake. Um, Dom's usually the one that breeds the pygmies, so he sees the really small snakes. I don't usually see that small snakes unless it's a colubrid. Um, Apart from that, I don't know if last time I was on the Brettles clutch kind of landed. Anyway, I had the first Brettle clutch. I'm expecting another Brettles clutch to land any day. That's the genetic stripe to het genetic stripe girl. So hopefully we'll have some nice stripes. I also got the import. A lot of people in Canada, so we're from Canada. UK Python came in probably, I don't know, let's say 3 weeks ago, and I've so the first week was just too hot, and it was Canada Day, which is kind of like Independence Day for all the Americans. But and yeah, so didn't want to bring in the snakes at that point, so we waited a week, and it wasn't as hot, and I was able to get a pair of ghost children's python and a T positive um, pair of children's also. So pretty neat. The ghost male is 2021. They're really nice. They're eating really well. Yeah, so that's about it. So what's going on?
Not a bad start. Before I continue, Shan, I don't know if I can hear continuous like clicking from your mic or anything. I don't know if you're able to either play with it, unplug it, replug it, or I don't know. It's weird, but there's a clicking noise. I just asked in the chat to see if anybody can confirm that they hear it when you're talking or not, but I can hear it. So just to make sure that our sound's better. Um, Talk to me. Tell me
Is that
what.
is that I can hear it, but I don't know what it's coming from.
Yeah, it's still happening. Hard to say. Do you want to get out, unplug your mic, replug it, and then come back in,
I
and
did
just make
unplug
sure
it.
that. Pardon me.
I did unplug the mic.
Yeah, sometimes coming out and come back. Do you know what I mean by coming out? Like just press end, leave, and then come back on with your Gmail. I'll be here. You'll get accepted right away. And there he goes. Well, eventually. Um, Spotted is a pretty cool thing. I've done Spotted a couple of years. He's breeding actually some of my babies back and continuing the line from there. So they're really fun babies to have. Actually, really easy feeder and really great to go on. Bredleys, I mean, that's pretty cool. I'll be honest, I've never bred Bredleys. I've kept them a good amount of time and raised them up, and always thought I would do it, but it's one of those things where I like them. They're cool. They're a bit of a bigger snake, but somehow every single time I'd get them to 2.5, 3 years, I'd end up thinking, well, I could really use a bigger cage for another animal. I could really use this and this, and somehow I always moved them out, and they all ended up going to Shan. So Shan ended up with his own collection of bredleys, including mine, and I'm really happy to hear that he's bred them because it's one of the species that I've never done. Um, how many bredleys do you now own, Shan? Like your adult pair? What do you have? Like a 2.3 or
A two. Uh, Sorry, I have to think about it for a sec. A 1.2. Sorry,
a
that's all I
1.2?
have
Okay, I
of
thought you had more
adults.
than that.
I did. I lost. I lost one male. Well, I haven't really lost him, but he's just Deadpool. I don't remember if you remember you giving him to me. He's pretty much not eaten very much
No,
in many like a
over a
long
year.
time.
That's kind of sad.
Definitely over a year. Yeah.
Makes you wonder what's going on with them.
I've tried everything. I'm just anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of too bad. So your mic's still clicking. No idea why. Maybe it's only me hearing it, and I'm hoping it's just me. But it's really not a big deal. I can just barely hear it, so we're just going to leave it as is. So update on my side. Let's see. Honestly, nothing has been born. Nothing has been laid. The only thing that I know is that I had one popwin carpet that I was the last one that I was on the fence whether she might lay because I could feel the follicles in my fingers. She had pretty good ones. And I've been feeling them 3, 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden they are all gone. So I can confirm that my egg season is officially over. My winter breeders, wait, not winter breeders, spring breeders did not go, which is my diamond python. She's young though. She's like, I don't know, 3.5. She's a 2022, so maybe 4. Well, she's 4 now, but she was 3.5 when I tried to breed her. So realistically, she was too young. But I still, well, by saying me, I still fully cycled her. That means I did everything, and as soon as it got to like 62, I said, Shan, can you help me? Because my room doesn't get that cold. I shipped her to Shan. He cooled her down, and then I brought her back after. I'm expecting next year to be my real attempt at diamonds for the first time, which would be really nice. I have an RPD female to a San Diego Zoo male. My male is very green, yellow, heavy. And my female, actually, I posted a picture today of her. She's just bright yellow. There's just yellow and black. I don't think there's any other color on her. She's pretty nice specimen. So I'm really hoping she produces. Except for that, what else is new? I still have 2 clutches of jungles in the incubator. Looked at the eggs again today. they're looking great. I'll be honest with you. I have no idea where I am in the incubation. I think I'm at about a month or so. Tend to kind of lose track. I'd have to go through the calendar. But again, to the MPR boys, if you guys could make a calendar again, it would make my life a lot easier because my calendar situation sucks because I can't follow my dates properly because I don't have a calendar. And I love to waste $50 on that calendar because I really need it. Anyway, rant over.
I I second that.
Yeah,
I like
I
their
think
calendars.
we're both that way, right? We just like the pictures, and it's just a good way to flip, and you can flip the pages. It just works. I've gotten used every year to doing it that way, and when you guys
Keep
don't do it, you screw me over.
Believe me, it keeps me organized for some reason. But
Yeah,
I
that's true.
feel
Right? So I've got two clutches of jungles in the incubator. Except for that, what else is new? I don't think that much, man. Not much has changed in the past 2 weeks. Do you have any other updates before we go to like talking about some current events that are going on, Shen?
uh, not really. I don't know. I just the pygmies. They're doing really good. I don't know. I'm on the edge of. I don't know if they're gonna make it for this year's season.
What year are they?
I'm 2023s, so they'd be going on three and a bit, right?
So, as a general rule, smaller pythons are ready faster, right? You got to tell yourself that when
Yeah,
you're tiny, you get eaten by everything. So, the whole goal is to reproduce as fast as you can to get more progeny out there and to be able to get more babies out there. So, my assumption is that even by the age of 3, they should be ready to go if you've fed them enough to go. So, if
yeah.
you start like be very generous with food for the net for this summer, I think you could get them going.
That's I've been accelerating the
Yeah.
food in the last little bit.
The
I
question
have
is,
I have been in the past not as much, but like the first year or two, I was like not heavy feeding, but the last little bit, I've been giving them good meals at least once a week.
yeah, the
So,
question
and
is, do you
I've
want to breed
seen
them?
I do want to breed them. I've what I was just mentioning is that I really have seen them like accelerate. Like they're pretty much once a month and a half they're shedding and stuff. Like you really can see they're growing.
Yeah.
They're taking bigger meals. That's kind of nice to see. So I'm just scoping up what I'm gonna breed for this upcoming season, right? So that female, was it a female or a male that you gave me today? That was a that coastal, was it a coastal what
That
was a
is
hypo caramel?
so. I did not give her to you.
No, no, but
I
you know
I
what?
begged
You know
for
what?
your help, is what I did. But we can
Yes.
go over what
Oh,
that is. So that clutch is they're pure coastals.
but
The male
is it a male
was
or a female? That's what I'm
that one's a
asking.
female. It's written on
Oh,
it, man. Look at the tag. There's a tag on the
I
container.
know it's over there, but anyway, I
Yeah,
tried to feed it today. I gave it a meal, and
man.
it's pretty weak, but I don't know if it's gonna make it through.
No.
Tell you the truth.
So, so to say what's going on with that, that was one of my prize clutch. Like I'd say one of the best clutches I've produced in a long time, which was a hypo caramel tiger female coastal, and I bred her to. What did I breed her to? A super caramel exanthic. So all the babies are head exanthic, all the babies are caramels, and I ended up getting, I think, 9 out of 11 of the babies that were hypos, and I have some super caramels. That one, I don't know if it's a super caramel or not. I'd actually have to go look at the tag. But
I'll
sorry, go ahead.
I'll is that what you want me to see?
No,
That
no, it
tag?
doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
It's number 10. I know that. So
I thought it was number
I,
7.
is it? I
Yeah,
thought it was
whatever.
said numbers 10.
Either way, it makes no difference. So that entire clutch, I sold one that was not hypo, the guaranteed non-hypo. Um, I sold one hypo to Pacific Coast, which he posted his
Yep.
picture, and she's gorgeous. But that one had 0 tiger lines. It's tiger lineage, but it had no tiger appearance. And we held back. And by saying we, I basically sent, give or take, I think, how many did I send to you? Four? I don't know what I gave
Yeah,
you.
at
I think
2.2.
you have
I
a
have
2.2.
I have a 2.2. Yeah.
Okay. I think I have a 1.3, but one of them is six, so I might end up being a 1.2. We should have something somewhat similar, but the whole point was that I didn't want that project to go anywhere else. I want it to be us that works on it. In Canada, there are some hypocoastals out there, but I think the only other person that has the hypocoastals that are pure is the guy I sold to, Pacific Coast, and one other guy has bred them, but he's mixed them into albinos and other things like that. So not really the same project, but one of them has just stopped eating about a year ago, and she's probably he or she is probably about what 2.5 feet. So it was a well established animal that grew nice and long, that ate forever, and then just stopped. And when something doesn't eat for me, I just wait. I just wait. I try again in a month. I try again in a month, but yeah, I guess I reached out to Shan because he's got an unlimited supply of anything live. So often it's a good way to get something to go. But he or she, whatever it is has not eaten in over a year now. So she's starting to look a little bit skinnier than she should. So I figured we'd try. But in my experience, even if you get an animal eating after a year, it often is its downfall. So I guess we'll see, right?
Time will tell. I don't know. We'll see if it makes the night. How's that? I don't know. It's
You
pretty
don't think it'll
bad.
make the night?
Well, because I was trying to give it a meal, and I don't know. It's having a hard time. Let's put it that way. Anyway,
Has it eaten?
well, it's got a meal in it, but
Wait, what did you
it's
feed her?
just ASF with fuzzy.
Live or dead?
Hmm.
Live?
Yeah,
And it took it?
yeah.
Go figure, eh? Like a whole year, it hasn't eaten once on my house. The
But
first day you got it, it came out of the bin and you got it feeding. That's freaking funny. Hey,
I'm
it's a
not.
good sign. In the end, she'll either die or she'll survive. So the reasons why I say that often getting an animal to eat again after a really long time, it's that sometimes animals get so weak from not eating that getting a meal in them requires a good amount of energy. It requires them to grow their organs to be able to digest. And often they don't have the energy to digest, to gain the energy from the digestion. It's really sad. It's one of those things where it's like you almost want them to eat, but you want them to eat a really tiny meal. But if they're past like that point of no return, it's sometimes that death sentence, or there's something that's blocking them. Right? There's a reason they're not eating because they can't digest for whatever it be, a cancer, a tumor, a some kind of a problem that as soon as they do eat, that's the end of their life, right? So if she makes it, great. If she doesn't, unfortunately, it's kind of the way things work.
So the other thing I've seen is babies. So just think, I had out of two clutches of Brettles, I had two. Well, I had many that didn't eat, but I had some that I kept over, and some of them did exactly what this snake did. Basically, took a ASF like fuzzy, kind of like almost like a not a hopper, but just a big fuzzy. Um, and then after that would be okay. But then I had some that would prolapse, so I had two of them that prolapsed. Try to put it back in. The next day I came back and it wasn't any better. It was back out. So some animals are just not meant to, like I said, so long of not eating. I feel like when they go to poop and digest their food, then they have a prolapse. I've seen it a few times on, and I'm talking the snake hadn't eaten, like it's a baby, but a baby that hasn't eaten like, well, I mean, like it just happened recently, and I'm just having the next clutch coming, so it's almost a full year, right? So a baby that's never eaten before, and then all of a sudden eats, and I have it prolapse. So I've had three of them do that to me, out of the ones that were left over.
And just by
So
curiosity, can you what did you do to handle the prolapse? I don't think that's something ever we've ever really discussed. Like, how do you what do you do to deal with it?
So, I mean, I'm no expert, but I did exactly what other people have done is Q-tip with water, usually sugar water. That's what I've heard, or like dip it in and I try to put it back in. It was it was very hard. I don't even think I got it all back in. It's so tiny. Um, I mean, not trying to say anything bad, but it's a lot of effort. All that effort to try to get it to eat, and then all of a sudden it prolapse. At that point, I was just almost giving up on that thing. I mean, it's sad to say I probably wouldn't give up on a green tree python, but at the same time, when you hear people with on the podcast, once they do that, you're pretty much done, right? Once they prolapse, they're
I
pretty much done.
I don't actually
So
think it's wrong to say that because my opinion is that when an animal has 20 babies, let's say 15 babies, they shouldn't all survive. Like, and I know it sounds horrible to say, but they shouldn't. In the wild, if she has 15 babies and the healthiest will go out there, they'll eat, they'll thrive. The not so healthy might survive. The non healthy ones will get picked off, will get eaten, will get killed. Like, if you look at predators, predators usually don't eat the healthiest of prey. They eat the weak, they eat the old, they eat the injured, they eat the ones that are easy to catch. So if you've got snakes that aren't eating, if you've got babies that aren't thriving, if you've got deformed animals that are having a hard time moving around, that's just food for everybody else. And it's nature's way of cleaning up the genetic mess that occasionally happens, right? Like, spontaneous mutations happen in the wild. Some are good, some are bad, some are completely irrelevant. So in captivity, I don't know, man. Like, I used to force feed everything. I used to try to make everything survive. I've taken a step back, man. I
So I can see both ways, Dom. So I can see sometimes some snakes just need a little bit of a boost, right? I'm not saying to do this constantly and do it all the time, but sometimes a few of them, as long as they're not too weak, give them like some type of whatever, a pinky of some sort, something you can get down safely. And I'm not suggesting any Tom, Dick, and Harry do that. Um, Like I've done it quite a long time and many times. Um, you can damage things. I don't use forceps and stuff or anything like that. I usually use a Q-tip to actually push the pinky down. So to try not to make sure I don't damage anything. A wet pinky, wet Q-tip. Sorry. And that's what I just to push the pinky down. But sometimes I feel that'll trigger something in the snake. Only usually babies. They just need something to kind of get its metabolism going or its whole function going. And if that doesn't work, then it just. I mean, it is what it is. Like Dom said, some are just not meant to be around. You
the
know.
the question is, do we do too much, right? And are we really helping everybody by keeping the week going? So, do I agree with doing one force feed? Sure, I would. I don't think I should do more than one. I'll be honest. I don't do force feeding anymore, except for species we have to. So, example would be black-headed pythons or pygmy pythons, right? They
Pygmies.
just,
Yeah.
and that's not because they're not thriving. It's because they don't eat rodents in the wild at that size. They eat a different prey source that we don't give them, right? So therefore, it's just it's we just have no choice. But if you're talking about a carpet python, man, like, think about it. If you take certain animals, like, why is it that our popwins always eat super well? We have zero issues. Why is it that spotted pythons have zero issues, but the inlands are freaking pain in the ass to get feeding? Or
But
an
I've had
albino
albino. I've
Yeah,
had
the
albinos
albino
though.
genes seem to always be a pain
Yeah.
in the ass to get feeding for some reason. So there's certain ones. So there's part of me that's like, well, you could escape that. You could say, fuck this. I'm not breeding albinos anymore, or I'll breed that albino to a completely outcross Darwin. Then from that Darwin, breed it to another outcross, produce possible hets Darwins, then breed it to themselves, their brothers and sisters, bring the albino gene back in, and then all of a sudden you're now breeding animals that are 1/8 related back to their parents. You know what I mean? Like just breeding the ones that actually hit the genes. So you could outcross and remove those bad feeders, but we don't. And why do we not do that? Because, if an albino is worth 4 times the price of a normal, why would I try to escape and move away from a gene which that gene has brought on the bad feeders? Because that first, if an albino came out and it was a bad feeder, there's no way we'd kill it. We're going to do everything to make that thing survive. You force feed it forever, and then you make that, because genetically you can pass on traits too, right? You don't just pass on the phenotype. You can pass on, good behavior, bad behaviors. You can pass on more aggressive natured animals. You can pass on more passive animals, right? So if we had one gene that popped out, and that animal happens to be a crappy feeder, and all the animals derived from that animal, then technically speaking, most of those will be difficult feeders. Unless eventually you keep selecting for better feeders out of the clutch. If you have 20 and one's a good feeder and you only breed that, you could slowly move away from it. But I don't know. I just feel like we don't do that. We don't breed for people should be going like, what's the best feeder in your clutch? Not what's the best looking one. Which one's your holdback? That's the one I want.
True that. I mean, though you got so my point is so your inlands, both your male and female, do they eat really well?
My adults,
Yes.
the adults are bulletproof. They never
So,
miss a meal.
but the inland babies, they're terrible.
They
Two clutches,
are.
two clutches in a row.
So so here's
I'm
here's
just
my
trying.
thinking.
I'm just trying to say, what's your theory on that part?
So here's my theory. So last year we're gonna go with one of the females called Crossbow. Okay, Crossbow
Okay.
had a clutch last year. That clutch sucked. The babies were not very big. They were a little bit smaller, and none of them fed, and they took forever to get going. Agreed. What the fuck?
I
Shitty,
do agree.
right? Okay. This year I had two clutches. I had one from Crossbow, which again the babies look a little bit small, but I had a clutch from Longbow, which is the other one, the other female that is not related, same father because I have a 1.2, but completely different female, completely different line. That female is the Mog slash UK line, and my other female is I don't know. No, I sorry. Let me repeat. The female that's a shitty feeder is a Mog. The female that the new one that I bred this year is a 25% Schofield, 75% outcross lineage from UK. So I have
And
two different females.
that's longbow.
That's Longbow. So she's had. I sent you 4 babies of those ones
You,
today. We can
you
talk
did.
about that later.
You
So
did. That's
if you
okay.
look at them, you'll notice that they're bigger. The
Okay.
babies are already bigger. So I am curious. And the next difference is the first female laid her eggs, they hatched, and out of, I don't know, 11, 12 babies, whatever that number is, I think one has shed and it's been now 2 months. So why have they not had their first shed? Which also is a sign that you're going to have trouble feeding them, which is all weird. So they're going to be difficult feeders. And my other female laid, I hatched out 4 babies. Um, the babies were bigger. They hatched out a month later than the first female, and they've already had their first shed. I haven't actually tried to feed them even once, by the way, just so you know. I've never tried to feed them.
Oh
So
no.
they all
Okay.
shed in the past week and a half. So
Okay.
now my curiosity is, will one eat, will the other one not? Because if you can get the bigger babies that have shed right away, eat right away, then right there that tells you we have one line of good feeders, one line of shitty feeders. What do you do in the future? Do I stop breeding that female? Do I start raising up one or two of those babies and say my holdbacks from the other female, sell them off, get rid of them, or ship them to Japan like we always do, and just give the problems to Japan. You know what I mean? Like, um, but if I have a line that eats well and a line that doesn't eat well, technically speaking, yeah, I should stop. Especially with inlands, right? Like inlands in Canada, there's no morphs. So it's not like which inland would you like? They all look the same. They're all very similar. They're all beautiful. You know what I mean? Like there's no
Yeah,
morphs. It's like picking up.
no, but there's different coloring on the sides.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Some of them look pure gray and black, and some of them have that little bit of rusty color on the side.
Okay, but
Uh,
if you have a Mog lineage baby
mhm.
clutch, that clutch will look similar. That's what I'm trying to
Oh
say.
yeah, yes,
So what I
yes.
mean is the
Sorry.
babies of one clutch. Do you really care if you get number one or number eight or number three? They kind of look all the same. They're all pretty. They're all a
With those
gorgeous looking animal.
with those ones, I'll tell you, I'd take the best feeder. That's what I would want to do, because
And
they're
that's
all shitty feeders.
but that's what I'm
Um,
getting to, right?
yeah,
Like when
yeah,
you
no,
pick
no,
an animal from an animal that has new mutation, the first thing
yeah,
you're gonna say, I want the best feeder. But if I was breeding something for like a 3 or 4 genes, you would never ask me that. You'd be like, which one has the most amount of genes? Which one is hit? Oh, that one hit the albino, the exanthic, and is hippopotamus. I want that one, right? It doesn't matter how well
yeah.
it's eating, right? So we don't prioritize the health of the animals when it comes to genetics. We prioritize the genes, which is it's as backward, right? It's wrong, especially as a breeder. And I'm telling you that, and I'm doing the same as you, right? I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm the
No,
same. Like I want I want the ones with the good genetics, right? But
I want
it's
I
not their
want the
advantage.
pure pure stuff. I'm not really in the genetics as much as we used to be, right? But
No,
no, I agree. Like you want good feeders. Um, I do like to try to get these guys going. That's what it is. So yes, I probably will try to attempt to do that. I did it with the other ones, and how many did you get back? And the ones that I got you going, how are they feeding now?
oh, they're perfect. But I only have
There.
3 from last year left, only one for sale, which I think is sold. I'm not sure. I think we'd have to look at the order for our wholesale order there. I think it's sold, but anyway. But I have a 1.1 holdback, and I'll be honest, I think I'm going to let it go. I don't think I'm going to hold on to them because a 1.2 inlands, I love them. They're fun. I don't think I ever need more than 1.2.
Agree.
Like
But
I've read
but what
it.
I'm saying, do they eat really well
Oh, they're
now?
great now, but you got them
Yeah,
going.
exactly.
But
That's
But
that's
here's the
what I'm
thing,
saying.
right? So let's say that 1.1 I held back from the shitty feeder clutch, right? Is that really what I would want to hold back to either, let's say, I don't know, increase my amount of inlands or replace my current inlands? No, it isn't at
Agreed.
all, right? But if
Yeah.
this new clutch of the 4 babies has some really good feeders, raising one female from that clutch could be a good replacement for the one female that creates all the babies and get rid of that female, right? Like
True.
just thinking back on how it is. So I'm curious to see if out of those 4, if they're good feeders. And if they are, I might hold back one female from that clutch.
So you only had four from that clutch?
I did, yeah.
Oh, really? Eh?
It was, I don't even know what happened. I think I had mold issues in that clutch.
Okay.
So
Because I really thought that you had kept part of the clutch and then sent me the ones that weren't that good, and I'm like, that's not
no,
bad because
no. I sent you the,
the other ones are terrible.
I wasn't nice. I sent you all my baby inlands. I didn't send you part. I sent you every single one. So for everybody who doesn't know, Shan and I basically we have our own collection at home separately, but all our animals are so intertwined. I think we have the same lineages, the same animals. I have pairs of animals that are both mine and his at my house. He's got pairs that are mine and his at his place. And when we buy shit, we tend to buy it together. And if he buys a project, babies are coming to me for free. If I make a project, babies are going to him for free. We're just throwing shit around. It's not a matter of how much money do you want it for. It's a matter of, do you have room and do you want this? And now it's like, like today I'm trying to pawn off a male Papuan Exanthic head granite on him, and he's like, I don't really need him. I don't really want him. And he's like, I don't have room. It doesn't even matter. Like it's not about money anymore because we know that at any point I need something from his house, he'll just give it to me, and vice versa. So, that being said, when it comes to raising babies, I've got frozen food. That's it. I've got frozen rats, frozen ASF, frozen mice, and sometimes not all three. It depends on how good my rodent breeder is and how generous he is. And in case you're wondering, my rodent breeder is the guy right beside me in the screen called Shan. So it depends on how nice he is and if I've asked for shit in the past couple of weeks. So, but all I do is frozen thawed, right? Sometimes I used to come to your place and grab live of everything, and I could do it every now and then, but we're still an hour drive, so I don't do it that often. I'm at the point where it's like, so this morning, actually yesterday, I called Shan. I'm like, man, do you want to just try to get these inlands going? They're just driving me nuts. I've been trying for a couple of weeks, and I'm talking about the first clutch. And I'm like, why don't I send you those? Send me a dozen of your babies that are eating, some that we know are leaving for our export. So it doesn't matter if they're at my house. So this way, at least you don't end up with that many more snakes in your house and me that many less, although that would have worked out well for me. But so we do that often. And, you know, having the advantage of having your live ASF, your live mice, your live baby rodents, I mean, like, it makes your life a lot easier. I just don't have that. Why don't you tell? So, how do you get all my crazy bad feeders going? What's your strategy? Just by curiosity, how do you go about it?
Um, so right off the bat, with any animal, I'll try. Obviously, the first thing will be frozen pinky rat, and then if that doesn't work, I'll try a frozen ASF pinky rat. From there, I'll might try a frozen uh, pinhead mice, so like a day or two old, like really really small. See if that works, and then I see that none of the frozen stuff kind of works, and then I'll try. So I get some clutches of all the stuff that I just mentioned, the ASFs and the mice and the actual rats. So more rats than anything else, just regular rats. Um, the live, and I usually try to get Dales, and I try to just throw that in, leave it for a night, see what happens. Um, if that doesn't work, of all the things, so if that doesn't work with the pinky rat, then I'll try ASF. So I don't have them all the time, so I have to wait. Some usually it's pretty good during the summertime. Production's pretty good, but so I'll try to get those, put one of those in there, and then see what happens. And then I'll try the mice. Mice is even less. I don't get the pinky mice as often. And then maybe I'll try something like a hopper of some sort and see something with a little bit of fur. Like the ASF sometimes really works really well because it's a combination of pinky with a little bit of fur, and that just for some reason that just does the extra trick. If that doesn't work, then sometimes I'll try to assist and just put it in its mouth, or like I said, try to give it a like a turbo meal and try to basically put a rodent down its throat and see what happens. Usually everything goes well, and then I'll try their whole system again. I'll try to antagonize it with a pinky rat or ASF rat, and then if that still doesn't work, I'll try a little live here and there. Usually it works pretty quickly. When you have the access to that much live stuff, it makes a difference sometimes. Um, Sometimes washing your rats, sometimes it's too heavy shavings, or like I've heard people saying that wash them and make sure that there's no scent on them. Sometimes that'll make a difference. Making sure your rodents are warm enough. I feel sometimes that can make a difference. Um, I learned that with the pygmies. I felt like if I put the uh, pinhead, my pinky mice, a little warm, and I try to like put it in front of their face, they would actually try to go for it and actually take them. So I was successful a little quicker. I feel like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, nice. And I'll be honest, like I'm sounding super lazy sometimes when I speak, but I used to try so many different things. Now it's kind of like
I'm patient.
I mean, I'm not as impatient as I sound, but I used to try every single thing from like putting them in deli cups, then putting them in a paper bag, then trying to wash them, then trying to brain the animal, then smacking the crap out of it continuously for 20 minutes. And I tried every single thing, and sometimes, and eventually, I couldn't do it. Then I'd send the last like two or three animals to you that I couldn't get feeding, right? And I'd be like, hey, give it a shot. If they die, they die. It is what it is. I've tried, but again, I'm at the point where now I find that time seems to resolve most of the feeders too. You know, if it's been 6 weeks they haven't eaten, by like 3 months, I'd say 80 to 90% of the non-feeders have all been eaten just by purely giving it another 2 weeks, trying again a frozen thawed ASF, and that's usually enough to get them going eventually in time. I find it's that last little chunk that just nothing can get them on that you really need live. And that's usually when I reach out to you. Now, with these inlands, um, purely I know they're going to be horrible. They're what, like 2 month old now? They're not that old. Like there's no danger. They're only 2 month old. They haven't eaten, but I just know that clutch is going to be horrible, and I'd rather you start them off earlier than wait 6 months.
So the other thing I also been doing is chicken giblets, or I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, right? Giblets,
It's definitely not. But let's
gizzard,
go.
gizzard.
No, let's go
No,
with giblets. It
gizzard
just sounds better.
giblets, chicken gizzards.
Chicken
Sorry,
gizzards.
yeah, sorry guys.
Well, welcome to
And
the chicken
I,
giblet show.
yeah, giblets, right? What does that actually sound
I
like?
have no idea what that even means, but I like
I
it.
don't know, right? Sorry. So I fillet it into a fine little strip, and sometimes I feel like that. Try to try to assist feed or put a pinky down anything's throat, and I feel like you could have like a squishy tomato effect, and you don't want to have that. So
Yeah.
I feel with that it's just a little like firmer, right, and to assist feed. It's
So I'll
worked
just
many times actually.
I'll just do a public service announcement on the chicken gizzard. There has been instances that has been reported of the chicken gizzard causing issues with snakes. If you listen to a couple of the podcasts, especially related to green tree python, because chicken gizzards used to be a huge things about force feeding your animals that when they don't eat, and they started having noticeable issues from continuous feeding of chicken gizzards. And I'm not sure, I'll be honest with you, I don't know exactly what the problem is. I believe it was like imbalances in like, I'm going to go with vitamins, but it could be supplements or whatever it is. Like basically, it started causing issues in the snakes. So my recommendation to people: chicken gizzards is a great tool. It works as another thing to use. Do not put your animal just on chicken gizzard continuously for 10 meals in a row. Not a problem if you use it once, two, three times. I don't think I would do a lot more than that, but it's a great way to get it started if it needs to be.
Agreed.
So
Yeah.
I just thought we should say it just in case, but a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
these things
No,
are
no.
just,
Like I said, they're techniques. I don't use them all the time, but sometimes, like I said, you don't want that squishy mess, and sometimes it's just nice and easy, something quick. Sometimes I just put myself through the pain of putting one of those things down his throat. But anyway,
yeah.
um, yeah, I try not to. Like I said, try to make the animal do it itself, but sometimes the animal just needs a good little booster, I would say.
Yeah.
And I've had many successful animals like eat after that, and then never have a problem after that. And I've sent so many animals out there, and they've as soon as they get on rodents, regular rats, then I've never had a problem with them. They usually eat. They don't stop eating.
It's one of the
So,
beauties of pretty much the Morelia complex, man. Once they're going, they're bulletproof for life, which is amazing.
right. I agree.
Um, so on that note, I am going to say I'd like to thank Cornell's World for sponsoring our podcast. Cornell Worlds is basically custom reptile caging, terrariums, snake racks, supplies. It has basically everything you could need from heat panels to heat pads to any material you need. They custom make your cages. Great service. And if you log on to their website, you can actually get 10% off on your, from what I can tell, your first order. You just have to subscribe and then they'll send you 10% off. So thank you, Cornell's World. It's cornellsworld.com. And the second sponsor would be the Western Canadian Reptile Expo. Basically, they do the largest reptile expo in Western Canada. Great show. I hear. I live in Eastern Canada, so it's like a 45-hour drive, so I've never been. But if Mike was here, he'd be telling you how amazing it is, and he'd be telling you to get yourself out there because it's pretty cool. Next show is August 15th and August 16th. I believe it opens at 8 and probably goes on until about 3 o'clock on the Sunday, August 16th. And let me turn off my. Oh, see, I only did Cornell's World. Damn it. I was supposed to switch to the other page. You know what? Mike will still be proud of me. I think I did pretty good. And that's it. So thank you to the both of them. So Shan, there's something I wanted to chat about. How about we do a bit of
Sure.
the reptile news? Two of the things that have, I'm going to go with upset me. So the first one
Okay.
is there's been now possibly two podcasts by this. I'm just going to say it. So Animals at Home. Animals at Home have been doing a controversial podcast regarding green tree pythons. I don't keep green tree pythons. I have listened to more green tree python information than you can imagine in the past 5 years. I am obsessed with them. I will have green tree pythons. Shannon and I have discussed it. They are coming. Don't know when. They are coming. They made one really controversial show probably about 2 weeks ago that was, I'm sorry, full of misinformation. They brought on a chicken guy. They brought on another guy that didn't even know any of the morphs, didn't know well morphs lines. It was questionable at best. It was tough to listen. They
I
did
couldn't get through it.
it was painful. So I'm just gonna
It
say it like that,
was.
which really surprised me because I'm gonna like Animals at Home podcast has been a great podcast. Like they have really good shows. He's done some amazing work, and I'm sorry, I did not like it at all. So it's just my opinion. Now he put out another one, part of the series of that show, and he brought on a Canadian. Which what the heck's his name again? He's very
Adam
well known
Wickens.
by some people. There you go, Mr. Adam Wickens. I only listened to 15 minutes. So Shan and I are Canadians. If you know Canadians, we love Canada. We love being here. Canadians don't want to be Americans. We love you guys, Americans, and we have tons of friends. Man, let's be honest. Most of the reptile people are all Americans. Like, we have a lot of American friends, and I respect America. You're like our big brother that takes care of us to a certain degree. There's been a lot of political controversy between Canada and the States, and I get all that. Okay, but a Canadian is proud to be Canadian. A
I
Canadian likes
agree.
his country. I listened to 15 minutes of that show, and I just wanted to tell him to shut the. He pissed me off. You know what? The amount of bullshit that came out of his mouth, he just kept bringing down Canada, saying that no Canadians want to live here. Our taxes are so high. At one point, he even said that he pays 54% income tax on every single dollar he makes. Okay, bullshit. Okay, anybody, you want to see how much bullshit that is? Okay, just he frustrated. It wasn't even about reptiles. It was just about bringing Canadians down. Um, if you make above 100,000 or something like that, you pay 32% income tax, not 54. To pay 54, you have to be in the highest tax bracket, which I think is over 500,000. Most people pay between 26 and 35%. So you know what? Like, I've had enough. Then he brought down the healthcare system, saying
Mm.
something about how like people die in the waiting room with heart attacks and all that. Okay, I'm in the healthcare system. I don't usually talk about this, but I'm an advanced care paramedic for the city of Ottawa. Okay, I've been in the healthcare for over 20 years. I spend my days helping people. I spend my days in hotel, geez, in emergency departments. Nobody dies in an emergency department. Our healthcare is so advanced, especially compared to the States. A paramedic here can do just about anything. Somebody dies at home, we do everything at home that the emergency department owns, and we either save them or we declare them at home. We don't even go to hospitals. It is not even the same thing. It's extremely advanced. People do not die in waiting rooms. It was just garbage. And I didn't even listen to the snake part. I just couldn't believe the crap coming out of his mouth. And Adam, if you're listening to it, I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't even know what to say, but healthcare system, you're wrong. We take care of people. Yes, if you have to wait 12 months for your, I don't know, your MRI, it's true. That happens. But if you're waiting 12 months for your MRI, it's because you don't really need it, because other people actually need it. If you walk, when I bring a stroke, when I bring somebody who banged their head, grandma falls off her toilet and smacks her head on the tile floor, she's getting an MRI within an hour of walking into the department. But if your knee hurts, yes, you will wait 12 months to get your MRI on your knee because you're not important. Anyway, I'm almost done with my rant, but the whole point to say Canada is an amazing country. Our healthcare, is it flawed? Yes, it's not perfect, but if you need help, you don't wait. If you're going in because you've got a urinary tract infection, yes, you're going to wait 12 hours in the waiting room. But why the heck are you there? Go see a family doctor. Go to a walk-in. Okay, so if you need help, you're going to go. If you're having a baby, you're not going to pay 35, 40 grand out of pocket. Everything is free. Everything is covered. Man, like we never have to fear. If you get a cancer and it's going to cost you $300,000 of treatment because it's expensive, it's going to be free. You know, like I went to my ophthalmologist and I had issues with my eyes. I'm getting laser eye surgery in 2 days. I don't even know why. I'm probably too much information. And guess how much it's going to cost? Nothing. It's free. Okay. It's amazing. You don't need to worry about anything like that. So my whole rant, I only listened to 15 minutes of it. Canadians are proud to be Canadians, man. And you know what? Like he's saying that every Canadian wants to go to freaking United States. Like bullshit. Anyway, not even animal related, but Adam Wickens, man. You know what? Fucking no respect. Anyway,
So I'll
your turn, Chad. I'm gonna shut up.
I'll add to that, and you know what? I'm very proud to be Canadian. I'm a little older than Dom, but true and true Canadian.
A little older?
I
Let's much older. Come on.
Yeah, okay, sure, whatever, whatever. Just your big brother. Um, but I even have family in the United States. I have a sister in the United States, so there's a lot of people just like me that we're big brothers and sisters. So I don't hate the United States. I don't bash the United States. Do I agree with everything? But no. Do I agree with everything in Canada? No. There's a lot of things in Canada that I don't agree with our government. Yes. Our healthcare. Well, there you go. You have a paramedics telling you exactly how it is. Yes, everything is free, and yes, I am thankful for all that. Um, it scares me when I hear you guys or the United States say that your buddy just had a heart attack and you got to take out like a loan or something, or you're going to have to pay back something. We never have to worry about those kind of things. So, do we wait? Yeah, we wait. It sucks, but if you really need to go to the hospital, you're going to wait. That's just the way it is, right? I don't know. That's the way I feel about it. Like when you go to the emergency, some people complain about waiting. Like you might wait 8 hours, but like Dom said, if grandma hit her head or somebody's more important or there's a major accident, you're going to sit if you're not, you know, if you're not feeling you got a tummy ache, right? There's a lot of people out there like that, right? But yeah, I had suffering pains to to my chest, and I think it was an ulcer of some sort at one point. And they took me in, and like they had an EKG on me and all kinds of tested my heart immediately. And like I said, I walked out of there. It didn't cost me a cent. So Canada is great, and I'm not trying to boast against any other country, but I'm
Uh,
very thankful. I'm pretty thankful. How's
all
that?
right. You know what? Go Canada, and
I
from
I I
that,
haven't heard the podcast. I am gonna go out and listen
just
to it.
just listen to 10 minutes of
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
just to like get your blood boiling. It's so hard to hear that because I don't know, man. That guy just rubs so many reptile keepers the wrong way in Canada. It's weird because I don't think obviously his audience is Americans and not Canadians, but man, he pisses me off. Like even though our majority of our audience is American, man, like I like Americans. I have zero problems with Americans. Like Americans rock. Like,
Yeah.
but it doesn't change that I'm still proud to be a Canadian. I'm boast that. So we're gonna drop that subject because that was a good 10 minute
Yeah.
rant. Um, I want to go down another road. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen that. So let's talk about, for example, Tiger King. Tiger King
Mm.
came out, caused a lot of problems. Then you get senators in the states that just ran with big cats in captivity are horrible, and they got tons of places banned for owning big cats and all that, and they destroyed that. Then you had the chimp show that came out. What was the chimp crazy? Is that possible?
Chimp
Something
crazy.
like that.
Yep.
And I think it caused the same issue. Now there is a new show that is about to come out. Okay, the new show that's about to come out. What is it? Do you know the name? You got to help me out here.
Yes. So Monster of God.
So, Monster of God. Now, Monster of God is
Monsters of God. Yeah.
Monsters of God. So, Monsters of God, all we see right now is a picture of, I believe it's Tom Crutchfield
Tom
in,
Crutchfield with
in what, like,
A banded Egyptian cobra, and he's holding it like that. That's
okay,
what he's
and
doing.
judging by his clothing and the look in there, it looks like the 1970s. Like, I'm sorry, like that is
It
not.
is.
And he's
It
an
is the
old, like he's
70s.
an older man. He looks much younger. So there is a picture of a man holding a large Egyptian cobra in his hands, and this show is not going to be good for us. Like this is going to. I don't know if it'll really affect Canadians that much, but I think it's going to destroy or really impact Americans a lot because, let's be honest, it's going to be American TV. It's going to make reptile keeping look terrible. It's going to make people show, it's going to show the worst part of our hobby. And like in anything, right?
It will.
It doesn't matter what hobby you're in. If you're into cars, if you're into cycling, if you're, there's always the 5% of people that do everything they're not supposed to be and make everybody look bad, right? Like if you were to say herping, there's going to be one out of 20 people that's going to go and flip every rock, leave them all there and destroy the whole environment and be like, why the heck do you do that, right? If you look at snake keeping, there's going to be a lot of people that keep venomous snakes very well, and we're not venomous keepers, so I'm not going to go too much down that road. But there's always going to be the free handler that's going to be holding it, trying to not get bit in the face and make it look really cool, right? So I believe, from my understanding, this show is going to show the worst of the reptile hobby. I don't know what your thought of it, but I think it's going to be bad.
So, so I've met a few of them. So I've met Tom Crutchfield. I've met Albert Killian, um, which are on there. I've never met Tyler Nolan, but those two other so Tom Crutchfield, I went to his house. I actually met him. I've also met him at a reptile expo in Canada. So he does come to
Yeah, I was
Canada.
there with you, right?
Yeah,
Him and his
yeah,
wife were there. We
yeah,
chatted with Tom
yeah,
for a little while, and
yeah. So
it's tough because Tom has history, right? He's got deep rooted history in the reptile community. Sorry, keep going, keep going.
so no. At the same time, I really think that I don't know. He's done some terrible things, and some people I won't disagree with that. Like I'm sure some people will say he's done a lot for money and all that. Yes, he has, right? And he, I think with time he's gotten a little wiser. Like I've seen some of his YouTube videos and stuff, and he educates a lot of the people. There's a lot of good. At the same time, I can say a lot of bad stuff too, right? At the same time, all the stuff that he's done, and he's all these animals he's brought in, and all the money he's made on that. How is he not able to, like just keep himself afloat, right? He, he had issues. I don't want to go too much into details. I really I have respect for him, but at the same time, it's like I remember him begging for help and assistance with some things, and you know he
I
should have
have,
been
I have,
he should have been a millionaire, right? And I'm
but
just like, I don't get it.
the questionable, he's been involved in a lot of questionable, of legally questionable things, from smuggling to all tons of things. And again, I know that
Sure.
back then things were different, right? And I don't know if that excuses it, but things were different, right? Now the big thing that he posted it. I don't know if you saw. He posted saying that this is
Mm-hmm.
my show coming out, and then he has been working on this show. Did you see that, for 11 years? In his post, he says that he has been working on this for 11 years. So it's now been 11 years of him doing on and off things for this show to make it happen. Can
So
you?
so maybe some of the stuff that he's gonna put in there is not as bad as some of the other stuff. Like I know some of the stuff there's gonna be free handler guys in there, which I just don't think that's a good thing, right? Free handling is not a good thing, right? So Tom Crutchfield doesn't usually freehand. It maybe in the past he did, but I mean the other thing I want to talk about is so so I got both sides. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have animals that he's brought in, like what's the bearded dragons. Somebody told me if it wasn't for Tom Crutchfield, we wouldn't have bearded dragons, like to the point where we have them today, right? Now, it might being he's made a lot of money off of it. Don't get me wrong. Like a lot of people just knock me
Oh,
down on that, right? But
of course, guaranteed
you
he's
know,
getting paid a shit ton for it.
oh,
Um,
he's definitely getting making lots of money off this film too. Trust me.
I
So
think I think it will be very negative. I think it's gonna hurt him a lot for his reputation. Don't get me wrong, he's got a question. Like, he's well known as a pioneer of the hobby, but he's a
yeah,
pioneer of the hobby that has a negative and a positive side, right? A lot of the things were
yeah,
negative, but he's created a lot of positive in the hobby.
he
So
did.
for that reason, I still respect him, but there's things that are questionable, and I
I
fear
agree.
what will again. I haven't seen it, but he's really he's really happy to be going to the premiere to go see it, and to so, and you read it, and just reading his post tells you that he's like, I'm not sure how people are going to take it. There's going to be some things I'm not sure how to feel about what's going to come out. The fact that he thinks that about what he has done, I fear for what is coming out. And of course, will I watch it? I don't even know how to get HBO, but I'll figure out how to watch it.
Of course, you're
Um,
gonna watch it.
I
You
don't know.
have to see it.
I
Come
haven't
on.
seen Chimp Crazy. I want to see it, but I haven't seen it. I don't even know what
I've
it's on.
I've seen them all. It's pretty good. You look it up, you'll find it.
I mean,
But
like Tiger King was, I
easy, yeah.
Tiger
I mean
King
that.
was, it was entertaining. The problem is, if you saw Tiger King as, like, I don't know, just pure entertainment, and it wasn't based on real facts, it would have been just a fun, stupid show, right? The problem is that it's based on true facts, and that has an impact. So the fact that this show, if we saw this show that it wasn't real, right? It wasn't based on facts, and it was just entertainment, sure, but it isn't. And because it isn't, it will have an impact on us. It will have an impact on keepers if it makes it all look that, because people are just free handling or just doing all this dangerous stuff, if that makes a few states or a few counties not be able to keep their ball pythons and cord snakes and scrub pythons, then all of a sudden it has a negative impact, and that's where I fear. And I just want to say one more thing about free handling. So I have worked with venomous snakes, if anybody knows or not. I worked for about 10 years with venomous snakes. Nothing crazy, but I worked with them. Never in my house, just at the local zoo I worked at, and was cool. Did I ever free handle? No, I never needed to. Do people do it? Yes. Is it necessary to do it sometimes? Yes, I'm going to say it. It is. Sometimes it is okay. With longer snakes, a lot of people, it's easier to just have one hand on the snake and one hand on the hook. And is that acceptable? Sure. And if you have to do it a certain way that it is better and it is safer for you, do it. It doesn't mean you need to be filming it and purposely doing close calls and then posting it online to show and to have somebody else do it and copy you and then they get bitten, right? So it's
There's
it's
much worse though. There's much worse out there. There's a guy there. He's got a rattlesnake. Now he's the new guy. So Jeff used to be the guy, and he's going to be in this video. So I want to go back to that after that. What Tom thinks about that, but just saying, the free handling. There's different between free handling with one hand on the snake and the hook, like you said, and then totally free handling. And even let's say a full size king cobra, maybe you need to, you're not going to use a hook for that, right? You know what I mean? But I don't know. I lost my train of thought there for a sec. Dom, you gotta help me out here.
I have no idea
uh,
where you're going, Matt. But
uh,
either
it'll
way,
come back to me.
I don't want. I don't know how long we want to go on this subject. The whole thing is that this is something that's coming. This is something that'll have. It can't have a positive effect. It'll only be negative.
So
So
this guy pancakes. He has this rattlesnake, and he kisses it all the time. And I'm not joking. I'm just waiting for the day where he's gonna post and he's gonna have like like how they say in French, the baboon, because he's got the big lips, you know. Anyway, but yeah, he's crazy, right? And he totally is exactly like a Jeff 2.0. Was just like, you don't know, I'm special, and he, of course, he's special, right? Don't we know everybody's special that can handle these snakes like that? Um, yeah, I have a special gift, and I can do this, and this snake is special, and you hear it all, but it's really bad for the hobby. And so this is where I think Tom Crutchfield is worried about what the movie's going to be like, is because there's going to be people like Jeff Lechvit or whatever. We all know the Jeff who I'm talking about, right? You've seen him. I'm sure you've.
I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure, but sure.
Come on, are you living under a rock here? I mean, there's all kinds of videos of this guy. So it's the guy
I
that
don't watch YouTube, man. Like I barely ever watch it. So
I'm on Facebook and he just comes up. But anyway, he's the guy that just said anti-venomous for pussies.
oh
And
Jesus.
then 2 weeks later gets
Oh,
bitten by an inland taipan.
and then
right?
doesn't need to borrow like.
Then he's begging the reptile community to see if there's anybody that has any spare, and like
Yeah.
somebody's going to help him out, right?
I remember
So
that now.
so that guy is going to be in the movie. Apparently,
Really?
that's what I heard. So
Of course, because it makes a great
so,
story, right? It makes
and
for
I'm
good
sorry
television.
I'm sorry to say, guys. Tyler Nolan is a good-looking gentleman for the ladies and all that, and he's a super great tattoo artist. He can tattoo really well and everything. But I think some of the stuff he does, him and Chandler, as wildlife, everybody knows those two. I don't know if you know him, Chandler. You look them up, Tyler and Chandler. They do a lot of like silly stuff. Yeah, and I bet you they'll be in the movie. And so I think he's worried about that because there was an incident at Tom Crutchfield's house where Tyler Nolan got bitten by a king cobra, and he almost died. And Tom Crutchfield, like, there's a whole video about all that stuff, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff that's happened. That's, I don't know. It's if I think the other thing that's going to be scary is showing the public how much smuggling has gone on, and I don't think the public's going to really like that. Like,
The only
nobody
thing that
really
sucks,
knows that.
but that doesn't happen that much. And does it still happen? Yes. But back then, you could just, like they were saying, they'll smuggle 200 turtles or tortoises in a suitcase. and
Yeah.
it went unchecked. Now you can't even smuggle anything in a suitcase. That doesn't happen anymore, right? Do the smuggling still happen? Yes, but only by people that have refined that skill and have figured out. But it's probably, I imagine that the smuggling has been cut by 99% because you can't just, like, in the 1970s I could have just smuggled anything through anything. You can't do that anymore. So I'd like to
But
think that it's better now, but they're going to be showing that. That's what I
but
fear
that's
anyway.
what
I
I mean.
assume.
And people are going to think that or have the perception because the perception's already put in that the reptile hobby is like that, right? That oh, it's all about, you know, making a buck or finding an animal and making an animal from like I don't know. They'll always think that it's like wild caught or something like that, or it's like we've taken these animals out of the wild. But there's this a whole other environment. Like we know our reptile community is like there's a lot of animals in our community that it doesn't exist out in the wild. Like there's people out there that have certain animals that don't exist out there, right? Or you can't find, or you can't import. I guess would be the thing, right? Because now there's a lot of laws, right? We can't even import from the United States, so there's rules out there now, right? But I
There
mean,
is.
that's not going to be put out into the
No,
movie, right?
it's not
That's what
about
I'm
that.
trying to say, right?
Yeah.
It's all about bad publicity. So yes, it's not going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good.
It's the same reason when you listen to the news, it's never about like, oh, congratulate this person for successfully completing school. Who cares, right? It's going to be about the train that crashed and killed three people, right? It's going to be because car crash sells. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, like let's be honest, sex and big drama sells. So if you can't put sex about reptiles, let's make it about drama, and that's all there's going to be on there. So anyway, I'm think we're gonna try to end this type of topic and just say it's not going to be good. It's going to
Yeah.
affect us negatively, and I assume that what are you doing? I assume that
So
it will not be good. That's it.
so really worried about reptile keepers that are venomous keepers and anybody that's I don't know. I feel like maybe a lot of laws might try to change now, right? What do you think? Canadian and American, no?
I assume I don't know if it'll affect us. I'm hoping it will not. Only because I feel like this is more an American show. Will it air here? It will.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will really affect us. Like if you look at Tiger King, it had no impact on us, right?
No.
It didn't
But
affect us.
it had more impact. So somebody mentioned something that Tiger King was really watched a whole lot more because it came out on Netflix, and it came out when people were in COVID, where they're locked down. There was no other thing to do except freaking watch TV. That's
So
all
you're
it was about.
thinking it's going to affect us less because it's number one. It's on HBO. It's not on one of the main
That's right.
platforms.
So
Eh,
HBO Max, it's HBO Max, so people have to pay for it. I mean, I have a satellite or people that have that kind of stuff, or I don't know if people like a Fire Stick. I don't know if everybody knows what that is, but in the United States we have Fire Sticks here. And anyway, I have to get a guy, and I can pretty much get any channel. So I get all the
I
American
think what
channels.
Shan's saying is that he's being a
I'm getting
dishonest man.
I'm getting hot TV.
Yeah, he's not the most honest person when it comes to paying his
Hey,
cable.
come on.
Anyway, I actually I don't want I have like okay.
I
Do I have
I
other people's account on my TV? Maybe, but
see.
I
I
pay
got.
for Amazon, so I have my Prime TV, and that's about it. I don't watch
I
anything
have.
else.
So the wife usually takes care of all that, but I have Starlink for out here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I live out
It's because you live in
in
the
the
middle of the
sticks.
woods.
Exactly. So to let everyone know, I live in the sticks, and even living out here, sometimes people can get good reception. But right here where I am, it's an actual dead spot. But with Starlink, from Elon Musk, it has been a game changer. Definitely much better. So in the
There you
past, I
go.
wouldn't. Yeah, in the past would not be good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
Any anything else that's happened in the community or podcasts or anything else you've noticed?
I haven't done podcasts a whole lot lately. Um, but I but going back to the ones that you were talking about, so that guy did two podcasts. I remember the chicken one and all that, and it was pretty crazy that those guys were mocking or talking bad about Patrick Holmes. I thought that was pretty sad.
So
Um, that didn't need to be done.
I think it was terrible because out of all the people, like that's a
He's a
very
not he's
knowledgeable
a
man.
knowledgeable
Yeah.
person. I'm sorry to
Uh,
say, you don't knock somebody like that, right? Um,
there is one point. So the whole thing was bad, but there is one point that I do agree with it, and in the fact that reptile breeders are different than other breeders. And what I mean by that is that if you look at the horse market, if you look at the dog market, if you look at the cat market, if you look at any of those, the breeders, a line is a line is a line, and a line's the same thing in a horse, in a dog, or in a cat, and all that, and it all means the same thing. And what it is that a line would be a line bred, which means that the trait or the bloodline you would keep repeating and inbreeding back with your things. And eventually, if you looked at the lineage tree, let's say you everything came from, I don't know, hippopotamus parent, you would have hippopotamus parent pop up everywhere in that line continuously to the point where there has been like continuous infusion of the same line in a line continuously forever, right? And that's what makes a line. It's a line where if you have a blue parent, you can guarantee you're getting a blue parent, right?
right.
So if I breed, I don't know, uh, my Sphinx cat to another Sphinx cat, or if you breed your bulldog to your bulldog, if you breed your chicken A to your chicken to all that, you are guaranteeing a look because there is so much in that, and that is what a line is. A line is a guarantee that you have put so much work into it that you can pretty much guarantee what the offspring will be. So right now, the only thing they were saying is that there's no such thing as lines in green tree python, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong if you look at what a line is. We use different terminology for lines, right? Like I've heard it in
So
many.
I know exactly what you're saying. So the question is, when does it become a line? When can you start calling it your line?
So it all depends on whether we consider what is a line, right? So again, a line is a line is a line in all the different animal hobbies, but it's not the same thing in the reptile hobby. In the reptile hobby, some people will say, well, if I import a West Papuan carpet python and I import another West Papuan carpet python, let's say a year later, and I breed those two together, now they are completely different bloodline, not related to anything else anywhere out there. If I breed those babies and I breed those babies back to each other, they are their own separate line because they have their own bloodline. Okay, so you could say, could you call that a line? I would say it's just two outcrossed adults that have just genetic difference. But is it a line? A lot of reptile keepers would call it a line, right? So now the reason that you know how you've heard the terminology GTP lottery, you're hoping to hit the lottery, right? And
Yeah.
if you breed certain animals to certain animals and you've got a lot of really nice animals in their lineage chart, you've got a higher chance of hitting. But why is it that if you breed a blue adult to a blue adult, not all the babies are blue? Why is it that if you breed a dark melanistic animal to, let's say, another melanistic animal, not all the babies are melanistic? Because you're hoping for that lottery, right? You're paying for the chance of getting it. Do you have a higher chance? Of course you do, because there's melanistic parents there, but it doesn't mean you're going to get it. So The only thing that I took from that actually had some truth was that technically a line should be you should be able to know what the outcome will be. And for example, if I breed an albino to an albino, I can tell you that the babies will be albino, right? So that is a line of albino because it has a outcome that can be predictable. Now with green tree pythons, it's a lottery ticket, right? But by buying from people that have produced these amazing, you're increasing your odds of having a better lottery ticket, right? So is it lines? It's lines for reptiles, but a line for reptiles isn't the same thing as a line for other animals. I think that's the only thing that's different. But I mean, when it comes to the reptile hobby, man, I'm sorry. We do our own thing, right? I don't know why we don't follow the same thing as everybody else. Like, why do we call everything differently than what it really is, right? Like when it comes to genetics, we all have our special terminology. Like, why the heck do we call shit a super? What is a super? What does that even mean? It means nothing. Why do we call things a dwarf, a super dwarf? It actually literally means nothing. It is the wrong terminology. They're just terms that we use, but that in other animals, in other hobbies, they wouldn't use that because that would be it would be inaccurate. Like, why is it that a super zebra is a thing? It shouldn't be a super zebra. It should be a heterozygous zebra and it should be a homozygous zebra. Simply put, they're both zebras. One is on one allele, one is on two alleles, and that's what it should be. But why do we do super? Like,
Because
there's
it's
so
the
many things
lazy
that
way
we've
of doing it.
done, and that's how our hobby works now. So a line for the reptile hobby is what is agreed by pretty much everybody in the reptile hobby. But it is not the same as in every single other department of animals and breeders and other animals. So I don't know how we got into this, but
No, but I
yeah.
think we get lazy. Like, to me, it's much easier to say super than uh, hygozygous, you know?
What was that
So,
word? Hygozygous? Everybody,
heterozygous.
hygozygous is the new term that we're going to be using from now on. Um,
No,
Heterozygous for only one allele,
heterozygous.
and
Heterozygous. Yeah.
hetero, heterozygous, and homozygous. So
Yeah. So
the best way to
homo,
so
so
think about it as
homo would be super, right?
so I'm going to use like humans when you're talking about couples. A couple
Sure.
that's hetero is a man and a female. A couple that is two females or two males is homo. Does that make sense? So
Okay.
homo means two of the same thing on the two alleles. Hetero means the two alleles are different. So you've got one on one, you don't have it on the other.
Okay.
That's so if you're anyway,
So homo's good.
homo can be good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going down
Yeah.
that anyway.
No, I'm not
Um,
either. Don't do
I'm just
that.
gonna leave
Don't do
that
that.
one alone.
Don't do that.
um, we are a LGBTQ neutral party here. We are not talking about that here. Um,
Yeah, let's
so
talk reptiles.
yeah, we are going on so many weird ass tangents today. So I want to bring up actually one of the things that Timothy just brought up, and I'm going to see if I know how. Let's see if that worked. Can you see it on stream? I don't know. Oh, there you go. Look at that. I figured out how to do something.
Wow, that was pretty awesome.
Um,
It's
so he
crazy to
says that.
imagine.
Yeah, there you go. Read it.
It's crazy the imaginary line keeps us selling certain reptiles to each other and doing other types of
So
businesses.
that imaginary line he was talking about was from earlier. It's basically saying that that line in the United States prevents us from selling anything back and forth, right? It actually doesn't prevent us to do everything because if you want to sell a green tree python, you can sell it. It will go from another line to another line because a green tree python, as long as it's not from Australia, which I don't even think anybody has a green tree python from Australia in North America. Am I wrong to say that? There
So it
might be some
has to
in
do with
zoos.
CITES, though. It all has
So
to do with appendix.
it
If it's
has
an
to do with
appendix
it.
one animal, we can get over, right?
It doesn't.
An appendix.
No. So there's. So it has to do with the states because um, An Appendix 2 animal is an animal that is protected usually by its country, from my understanding, which would be all Australian animals. So Australian animals are Appendix 2 because Australia says nothing's going out, nothing's coming in. We want to keep our animals ours, and we don't want you to bring more of your weird ass cane toads or foxes or rabbits or geez, aren't even
Exact.
dingoes? Yeah, dingoes are
Ex-
camels. I mean, you name all the animals that don't belong in Australia. There's a good amount, right? Um, but because of that, all our Australian animals here, they are Appendix 2. That means they're protected. So it means that when I want to move this animal from one province to another, which would be a state in the states, zero issues. But if I want to move through an international line, I need permits and I need to apply and I need to prove to the government that my animals aren't from Australia. That's basically all you have to do. So we can move a snake from Australia from here to Europe, no issues. We can move it from here to Japan, no issues. We could move it here to most places in the world, no issues. Well, not Australia, because they have a ban in and out. But when you want to move it to the states is just their own little world. Their fish and wildlife will. Literally the guy behind the cash is the one deciding whether it's going to go through or not. And I don't understand that because if I can ship an Australian animal from here to Japan, why can't I do it from here to the United States? I should be able to do an appendix to animals. And we used to, we
we
always
used to,
could.
yeah.
Now we can't. And you hear, and it's not just Canada, the US, you hear all the other podcasts of, like, we've heard Nick Mutton complain about how he's sent animals to UK Python and back and had no issues. And then he tried to send it back, and all of a sudden he wasn't allowed to. And then the
Yep.
United States are like, no, we should have never approved your first permit. Now those animals shouldn't even be here, and it seems to be the Wild West. It seems to be all depend on who's working behind there, who wants to approve it. So for that reason, yeah, there is a crazy imaginary line that you don't know if it's going to work, and it's so much work to get it through, and to get it going, and then to wait for the permits. And like for us, applying for an Appendix 2 CITES permit is about, I think the quickest last year was like I got it under 4 weeks. It was really fast. Longest it's taken me was about 8 weeks.
So
So
do you
sorry, go on.
think though? So do you think the issue is? So I know over on this side here, when we go to the airport and everything, we've had a few issues a few times where the officers don't know what's going on and they think that we need extra paperwork and all that, or they say, "Oh, you can't do that." But what I'm saying is, do you think that it's the same problem down in the United States? Like you said, one officer says one thing and an officer says another. Do you think it's maybe because some of them don't have as much? Like, you can't tell me they're all
So
knowledgeable about reptiles. Come on.
so I don't know what you mean by officer, but I'll just
Well, FW, Fish and Wildlife
okay. So when it comes
Conservation
to
Officers.
Canada, I deal with two people. We deal with CBSA, which CBSA is the border control. It's the Canadian Border Security, if something, whatever. So that's the one that, and then there's the CBSA that controls the CITES permit. So there's them, and then there's the airport people that you load the animals on. They are a pain in the ass. They always want to stop us from shipping animals because as soon as you try to ship animals, they're going to tell you, nope, you can't do it. Nope, you need an ITAT, an ITAT. So it's like a certified broker that ships animals. Okay, in Canada, you need that to move your dog and your cat. You cannot do it on your own to do international. It is tons of rules. It does not apply to reptiles. It does not. So
I
that's the
know,
big
but there's
difference.
a
But
lot of them that don't know that rule, Dom.
exactly,
That's
and
what I'm
I
trying
have,
to say.
but that's where I'm getting at. I've had tons of issues. Okay, but it's never the actual person that CBSA, which would be Fish and Wildlife. It's always been the clerk, the person you get on the phone, the person to book your flights and all that. And I keep telling them, like, look, listen, I you don't need to approve this or not. Just give me the goddamn flight, book my flight. I will have the permits. I will go through CBSA and I will make it go through. You have no authority. It is not you to decide. You are the person booking the flight. Just book the goddamn flight. It's so frustrating. And then
Yeah.
they don't work. Then I have to go get a freaking supervisor. Supervisor comes back and says, "Oh, I apologize. They don't know, but yes, you are right. You're allowed to." And I'm like, "Oh my god." But anyway, so my whole point of that is that we, when we've gone through CBSA, we've never had issues with them. It's always been like, "Oh, you did this, this, this. This works." The only issue would be like, "Oh, your permit is for 50 animals. You're only shipping 42." And be like, you need to cross that out and put it in bold red so that we can see it. You need to have it on your list on the box. You need to change it everywhere so that it is obvious. So there's no question about where are the other 8 animals, right? We've had small issues like that, like little things, but overall they've been good, and we've never been turned back. Like our issue last year was
No,
what you
but
remember.
my question is I feel they're not that knowledgeable. And going back to the question that you said, FWC, when they're determining things in the United States, is it possible that some of them are not as knowledgeable as others? They don't know the
I mean,
exact rules on
it,
how to import or export.
I
I
would
mean,
say
I'm just
yes.
curious.
I would say yes, but I would say it might also be my guess. And again, we've never dealt with FWC, right? So my guess, it's
I
more
know, but
related to they don't know how to apply the law. So
because
if
it's
the
been
new
done before.
but if the
It's
new
been
guy
done
gets
before.
told by everybody that no Australian animal goes into the United States and he doesn't know why, that's just what he's going to do. That's what my assumption is, right? Because when we ship animals here, and we're shipping CITES Appendix 2 animals, so we're shipping
Yeah.
the same thing, man, let's be honest. The guy at the border control guy has no idea what's in that box. And then I get it's to go to CBSA, the guy that stamps my permits and approves it never ever puts an eye on animals. I don't even bring my animals to him. I just bring
Right?
permits. He stamps it. He approves it. You're good to go. You did all the right paperwork. Cool. Then I come back down. Now I'm at the clerk at the airport. The clerk is like, "Oh, cool. You've got this, this, this. Give me that amount. Cool. Bring your box here. We're now going to have to check your shipment." The guy that comes in to check is some random security dude that probably has never, and he's like, "Oh my God, there's a snake. What are those?" Right? Has no clue. I
Right?
could literally be putting a boa, an anaconda, a rattlesnake, and say they're all carpet pythons, and he has no clue what they are. Right?
I agree.
But he's going
I
through my
totally agree.
bins. He's not looking to see if I have what's written on my paper in there. He's looking to see if between the box there's cocaine in there. He's looking to see in between if I'm sneaking something else to Japan that I shouldn't be. They have no clue what it is that we're sending. Like no clue. Like I don't even understand how you can ship animals and the person verifying has no idea what the animal is, has never seen. Every single one of them is always like, "Oh my God, there's snakes in there. Let me get my buddy. Like, come here, come here. Let's look
Right?
at this."
Take pictures.
It's so funny, but like they're the ones supposed to be verifying that I'm sending the right thing. And I mean, we've always been somewhat honest on what it is. And by that, I mean, like, okay, if we said we're sending Xanthics, some might be caramel, some might be this. Because when I apply for my permits, I'm not going to say every single gene, every single thing. It's just,
No.
you don't even say the subspecies. Like, for the people who understand carpet
Carpet
pythons,
python.
like, I'm sending carpet pythons. Now, if
Yep.
I'm sending a Darwin, if I'm sending coastals, if I'm sending um, jungles, if I'm sending inlands, they don't know the difference. They're tiny little neonates. They all look identical. Do you really think I'm going to apply for 12 different permits for each little subspecies? They don't know what they are. They can't identify them. They can't even tell them apart. Heck, I could, and I've applied, like, we've done it for Angolans, we've
Mm-hmm.
done it for Spotted, and all those were all different permits with different lineage charts and all that. But carpet pythons is one carpet python. And I've been told by many people who do it, do not go too much. It is just Morelia spilota. No, Morelia spilota spilota. Is that it? No.
Yes.
No, Morelia spilota mcdowellite. Spilota spilota is diamond pythons.
Medalla. Yes.
Mcdowellite. They are all
You're right.
mcdowellite, and that is
Sorry.
what it is because they don't accept the other ones. That's the one that goes through. Why? I don't know, but that's what I've been told by other exporters. And guess what? It works. And it's that. And I have the lineage shirts for my animals, and my animals are legal. Let's be honest, like nobody has illegal carpet pythons or Australian animals in Canada. How else would you get them? Like, it's just not, there's just no way of getting them. But anyway, I don't even know how we got into this, but
No,
the
you're
importing
right.
it was interesting. But when it comes to FWC, I think it's just the culture. The culture has been, if everybody says no, Australian animals aren't coming in or going out, and then new guy comes in and everybody else around him says no, he hears no, then he's going to keep saying no, then there's going to be a change and it's going to be a no, unless you find that one person that's like, no, there's no reason they can't come in, that fits everything. That one person, and from what I can tell, it was like one person that people knew that through him used to work. He retired and then it's all back to no's. That's the way I understand it's going on from
Okay.
what I've heard. But again, this is listening to other podcasts and talking to other Americans that are our buddies that tell us how it's going, right? So, in the end, what
Yeah.
does that mean? We can't move anything to the States. We can't get anything to the States back. But a lot of the things from the States have gone to Europe a long time ago. And those are the things we've managed to get through to Canada.
So what about the ones that Don sent over? What is? How
So,
is he getting them over there? Is he
well,
putting them as something different?
for starters, Don went about a decade without getting him through. From my understanding, he's gotten one or a few shipments or one shipment. I don't really know. I haven't talked. Actually, no. He asked us for some jungles, which I don't think we're gonna have any for him this year. He he did tell me that he got one across. So we now can say that there are CITES 2 animals that have gone across. Now, how does he do it? I mean, he knows the right contact, and he must have known the right guy. And it's not that there is a chance that it's going to go through. The question is, do you want to pay? Do you want to put all that work to be then
No.
shut down? Right? Like when we do it all, we do it for Japan. I know it's going to go through. I'm not doing it for nothing. Would you want to do it to go to the States? And the States don't want to do it because that's exactly what they tell us. Like, why would I go through all that just to be shut down after 9 or 10 months? And that's how long it takes for them to get through.
But I feel it's because the people there don't know the laws, like that it's okay to send, right? I just don't think they're knowledgeable enough. Like if they can't even identify the animal that we're sending, how can they judge if it's okay to go or not, right? You know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like saying send a black snake over a Mexican, let's say a Mexican black king snake, and send over an eastern indigo snake. Do you think maybe it would go through? Possibly. They
It
both
would.
look the same. You
It,
know what I
it,
mean? I'm not saying I would do that or to get anybody to do that, but it probably would go through.
I
Nobody
think
really fucking cares.
I
Like at
think you
our
and
end,
I both
anyway.
know it would go through. We could literally
I
send
know,
any snake that is any somewhat looking the same. I mean, from my experience, if you
right?
have the permits and there's the same, if you have a permits for 40 animals and you send 40 animals, it's going through.
So the last time I was there, so you did it last year by yourself. So sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Thanks for helping out, by the way.
Yeah, well, so Dom at the last second likes to do it on my anniversary weekend, right? And if everybody knows, you don't
And
do
how
that
am
kind
I
of thing on your
supposed to know
anniversary.
when you and your wife got married 20 some years ago? Like, you think
It
I
wasn't
give a
20
shit
some years
about that
ago.
date? Like, come on, let's be honest. I have no idea. How was I supposed to know
2019.
that?
Come on. Anyway, true enough. I probably didn't let him know, but yeah, like the last time before that, it was an older lady, and she was looking in the box and like, oh, that one's got nice color, and that one's got pretty pattern. They have no idea what it is, right?
No idea. So I'm just going to say quickly the story of last year. So usually we've done it a couple of years. Me and Shan, we do a day trip. We go to Montreal nice and early. We get him there. It's a bit of a it's kind of like a stressful event, right? Because you never know if it's going to freaking work or not. And Eric, I'm not putting it in the calendar, man. I do not need to know Shan and his wife's anniversary. I'm going to purposely forget it. If it happens on that day, he better prioritize me over his wife. I'm just saying.
Oh,
So last year, I did it on my own. But here's the problem: we've always shipped on the weekends on the Saturday. Okay, and CBSA is open 7 days a week from 8 in the morning to 5 at night. And I repeat that every day of the week. Every year we've shipped on the Saturday because our clients wants the animals on Sunday. Cool. Okay. I get there and I check everything again. I confirm it's open again Saturday, 8 to 5. It's all good. We are shipped. We're booked. Everything is good. And if you don't know the Montreal Airport is YUL. It's a big ass airport. It's big. Okay. The shipment is all the way behind the airport in some little area like that. Okay. So I get there and I put the animals on the table with the FedEx guys or whatever, not FedEx, Air Canada, Air whatever it is. I think it was Air Canada.
yeah, it's Air
And they're like, oh,
Canada.
perfect, all that. Okay, wait, it's going to cost you this. You're good. It's leaving in about this time. You're 50 minutes ahead. Awesome. Cool. So now, perfect. So now we have to go walk to the CITES to get our permits. So I get the papers from him. I have my CITES permits, and now we go for a walk. And the walk is like, I think it's like a 7 minute walk. Like you're walking through these corridors just
Yes.
to the end of nowhere. So walk to 7 minutes, and we're like, I mean, like Shan's not there, but I'm like, I've done this before. I know exactly where it is. It's all good. I'm not running. I'm just walking. So I get there. I try to open the door, and it's locked. Like, what the heck, man? Why is this locked? Why is this locked? And then I see a post note, like those yellow square post notes, and it's just written, closed weekend. And I was like, what the fuck, man? And if I look, like the big sign says open 7 days a week, 8 to 5, but there's little yellow post-it notes closed on the weekends. Well, apparently, this that now they decided they're closing the weekend. It's still online. It still says open and all that. So all of a sudden, I cannot get my permits approved. I have booked the flights. The people that we are sending to are driving 9 hours to pick up the animals because I can't do a direct flight because I would need to go to Toronto to ship it to where they are. And we've been trying to take the lazy way of only having to drive 2 hours instead of driving 5 hours. So, but now I can't ship it. If I can't get my permits, so now I'm about a 7 minute walk back to the counter. I'm like, oh my God. So now all of a sudden I'm running. I'm running down that hallway and I'm just sweating bullets. And I'm like, God damn it, Shan's not here. This is all on me. So I'm running. I get back to the counter and they're like, we can't ship. If you don't get your permits approved, we can't ship. And I'm like, hey, how else can I do it? And they're like, you know what? There is one CBSA open, but it's at the actual airport, like with people getting on the flight to doing that. And I'm like, so I put it into Google. It is a 13-minute drive. I take two highways. That's how long it is to go around the entire airport, go down to get back. So I'm doing this, and I'm going now to the actual real airport where people get on to go on their flights to go to Fiji or go on their trips, right, or whatever. So now and then he tells me you have 27 minutes. And I'm doing it. And I leave the animals with him and I just get in my car and I'm driving like 140 everywhere. And the little resident, I'm just being crazy ass dangerous. I'm just going. I make it to the airport in like 12 minutes. I park into a parking spot. So now it's costing me like $20 for the parking. And I'm just running I look like a crazy man that's about to miss his flight, right? And I'm not even getting onto a freaking airplane. I get there and the people are like, well, CBSA is there. And they're like, but we don't do that. We don't do commercial. Like, we don't do any of that. I have no idea. And I'm like, can I speak to your supervisor? And I'm like, to the supervisor, I'm like, I am begging you. Can you look into it? They're supposed to be open 8 to 5. Here's the website, 8 to 5. I have it booked. Your guys aren't there. And the guy's like, then please wait. I waited about 15 minutes, just waiting. And he's like, let me get this other guy. And then another guy comes in. And now they're like 5 agents, CBSA. And then eventually this guy's like, well, takes out this binder. And I mean like a big ass binder like this. Is like, we're going to try to do it. I'm like, oh my fucking God. They have a binder. And they're going through the rules, trying to figure out. Took them about Another 7 or 8 minutes. They put the goddamn stamp on my permit and give it back to me. I'm like, but now it's been half an hour and I'm still at the wrong end of the airport. And they gave me a half an hour that it needs to be done. And man, like, I'm driving. I end up arriving like 17 minutes past the half an hour mark where things have to be loaded on the airplane. I get there to the guy, and the guy tells me, he's like, don't worry about it. I already wrote that it was accepted at the mark at 0. He's like, hurry up, go get it done. We'll make it happen. Oh man, I sweat bullets because I couldn't get the goddamn permits approved. Why? Because of that. So now I have a new rule. I don't ship on Saturdays anymore because I can't guarantee it's going to be open. And that was, man, that was a stressful event. That was not fun. So to anybody who imports export, and keep in mind, so for imagine shipping 60 animals, 50 animals. Think of the amount of times it takes to take 60 babies, put them in 60 tiny deli cups, one at a time. That it's really hard to put a 12-inch animal into a tiny little deli cup, get their heads in there, close it, then you have to identify it, then you have to put it in a good bin, all that. You're doing this 60. And honestly, it takes what, like 2.5 hours to get this big ass box ready?
Okay, it's only 30 animals because I did half of the work. Okay, just letting you know. Okay, just be truthful. Okay,
Wow, wow,
it
wow.
does it does
Okay,
take a long time. It does take a long
but
time.
whether it
I'm
takes you
just
an hour
saying
and a half and me an hour and a half, it takes 3 hours to load
it
up.
does.
Yeah,
It does.
it's a pretty big process, man. Um, so hopefully this year, it would be nice to have Shan help, but I mean, we'll see. If only I had a partner that helped every now and
I was enjoying myself. I'm telling you. I'm just saying.
then. Please, no details, no details. So anyway, but it was more the fact that what pissed me off is that we had people waiting. The fact of having to load all those animals, drive 2 hours, then have to drive 2 hours back, unload all the animals back in. Literally, we are looking at 6, 7 hours of work for nothing, only to have to redo it later. Oh my god, it was like, but it ended up working out. I was just happy it got done. And anyway, I think I've told the story once before, maybe a year ago. But so if ever you're looking to import export, it can be fun. Importing,
Stressful.
super easy. Importing is a joke. Like when you receive the permits, you just say thank you. You go to the airport, the animals arrive, and they say, "Hey, is this for you?" You show them your permits. They don't really care about them. They just say, "Is that your name?" Beauty. Here they are. Pay this amount. That's it. That is importing. Like for the person importing, like you don't need anything. It's the simplest thing. It's everything's done for you. It is the exporter that does the work. So anyway, no idea how we got into that, but that is the story of when Shan didn't want to help me.
Just remember, I did it 2 other years with him, but he won't admit those ones.
I know you did, but in this case, you weren't there. I was stranded on my own island all alone. I couldn't even vent to anybody. I was just stressing out on my own.
So the problem is Dom has this thing in his head where he wants to get the animals out as soon as possible, and it's like quick, quick, quick. And if the customer says, "Let's get these out," so like you didn't even give me any like heads up on it. You were pretty much, we're doing it this weekend. It's like I already got something booked. He- he-
You're missing the. Our clients have to drive 9 hours to go pick
I
it
know,
up.
I know.
That's the weekend they booked. Even if you would have told me I can't go, I would have said I have to do it. There was no choice. It had to be done that weekend. So,
Yeah.
that being said, this year we are now going to drive to Toronto to go ship, which is a whole new ball game because I don't know how the Toronto airport works. It'll be
I
fun to
don't
figure
either.
that out. What is it, Pierre
Right.
Elliott Trudeau? Is that what the Trudeau Elliott? I don't
Is
know.
it?
Whatever that it's that airport.
Okay.
YYZ, I think is what it is what we ship out. But I think what we're gonna do is let's plan it around a reptile show because it's going to their hometown. If we plan it around a reptile show, we have to ship at like 7 or 8 in the morning. We get that done. It works well. We go to a reptile show, enjoy whatever little show that they have, or if it's the Canadian Reptile Breeders Show, because I think that's in September, isn't it?
But that's going to be on a weekend.
Oh, motherfucker.
Come on.
Oh, man. I had it all planned. I had such a
Yeah.
good plan.
Sorry
All
to
right.
bust your
You
bubble.
destroyed it. Maybe we're gonna check to see if maybe we'll check to see if it really is open on a weekend. Maybe we'll do it. If not, I guess we could go Friday, get it done. Maybe go for a nice drinks, get a hotel, stay there. Maybe we could do it a freaking day trip. It's a possibility. I don't know if we would do that, but what do you think? No, I guess
Yeah,
we.
yeah, I'd do it. Let's.
But we'd be
let's
stuck in
figure out.
Toronto all day,
Let,
man. Ugh.
what, you can hang out with me? Come on.
But all day?
Yeah, come on. But yeah, no, I mean that's doable. Yeah. Just let's figure out when it's gonna happen, or like we have to have the animals first and somewhat get them going, and then go from there, right?
Yeah, but when you
We're still-
wholesale, the beauty of wholesale is that there's no customer service, right? And I know that sounds weird, but when I sell one snake to Bob or Lucy, that Bob or that Lucy, if that animal doesn't eat, oh, they're coming back to me. If that animal in 6 months has a bad shed, that's on me. If that animal in 3 years has a lip infection, guess who they're asking? They're asking me, right? It's not a big deal, and you end up taking care of every single issue and all that, and it's something. But when it comes to wholesale, man, wholesale can be sold without eating, can be sold a week after they're done, could be sold. You buy all 10, 9 of them are eating, one of them's not. Who cares, man? They're out and they're on you. The idea of wholesale is you're buying the animals for, let's say, give or take, a third to half their value. So we're making a lot less money per animal, but a lot of them leave at once. It's a nice big payday. You end up having money that'll pay for your entire food bill for the whole year, for electricity bill. It's kind of one of those things where it's nice. You can get a big chunk that pays for your entire hobby for like your reptile keeping. Let's be honest. I bet you if we calculated it, Shan, that one shipment we do one a year probably pays for your rodent bill, your electricity bill. You don't think so? I would say yes. You disagree?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, but
I mean, I have the rodents too. So my electricity bill is pretty high, right? So just think of it that way, right? I have 2 heaters out there in the wintertime heating those sheds, right? It's still like I'm. It's still worth it. How's that so far?
yeah, fair enough. Anyway, I'm just saying, like sometimes a lot of people, like I don't want to say that I don't breed reptiles to make a fortune. I
don't
like
either.
breeding reptiles, and I like that it covers my bills, and we now make a profit. Like it's nice to make extra profit, but just like you and I, it's not money that we need. We both have real jobs,
Regular jobs.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. We're just this is the what we do on the side to keep us happy. It's where Shan escapes his wife when he does something bad. You know what I mean?
Pretty much. You're right. Oh, it's not that bad.
She's not listening.
But yes, no, she's not listening. But no, it's true. It's a hobby. Yeah, I love it. It's a passion. Do I have to do it? No, I do it because I like it. Right. I put a lot of time into it. Sure. But I mean, people spend a lot of time on their hobbies. I'm at that point in my life where I don't have any small kids anymore. So just my days off, I just I do the reptile thing and I do the snake thing. And, yeah. But yeah, you're right. That shipment does help with things. If it's not for paying the bills, the reptile bills, sometimes it just helps around the house or whatever, right? I always have the money flowing or fixing a
Yeah.
little something or putting on the mortgage or whatever the case may be,
Uh,
right?
Shan, I need to reply to a pretty important text. Why don't you tell? How about you tell me what are your two or three main big projects that you want to do for next year that you're really hoping to hit? It'll give me a minute that I can just look at my phone for a second.
All right. Uh, well, I don't know. Scrubs are looking pretty good. So we have the scrubs. They've been hanging out together. I've been feeding her a lot. Nothing is guaranteed, obviously, but I did see them lock. So I really like how it's looking. I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen, but definitely they're locking up. So stuffs are happening. They spent a lot of time in their hide box. I made this like little nest box, little with it's like a humidity box. Anyway, they both hang out there. They come out during the day and hang out underneath the radiant heat panel on the branches, and then go back in there. Um, yeah. Apart from that, the coastal. So last season, I sent two females to Dom's house because I didn't have a male to breed to those two females. Unfortunately, I think they were probably still a little too young. This year, they beefed up a little bit, and I think they're ready to go. They're 2023, so definitely ready to go. Um, so excited about that, and I got a few males, so I might borrow Dom's. So the original male that started the whole coastal. So he's in the Carpet Python book, the super caramel exanthic, right? Probably right. Yeah, yeah. Okay, thumbs up on that one. So I got that one right. Um, so I might get his help with that one, or uh, I also have the I also have a male of that project, so he's up to par now, and I might just try him out. So basically, I took a 1.3, um, so three females to one male, and so I might try see if that male's definitely ready. Um, then Dom and I were talking about today because we saw each other. My granite female, so it's really neat. We looked at a lot of his granite clutch, and wish we could have had pictures and stuff like that. So we lined them up and everything. So it's his that clutch he had. Um, some of them look really cool, like white on its side. I think we saw pictures of them in the clutch.
You're talking about my
He,
pop-in clutch, or which one are you
yeah,
talking about?
yeah, the granite clutch that you had.
So I think I posted
But
about it a little while
but
ago.
you did, but you haven't posted it
No, I
since
didn't
they've
repost.
shedded.
So
So since they've shedded, they're really white.
so before you go into what they look like, when
Yeah.
I bred, did you say what I bred?
No, you didn't. So
So two pure popwin carpets. One is a proven male that is granite het exanthic. My female is a granite 66 or 50% possible het exanthic.
that the one that
Babies,
came over to my house.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you
So,
said 50%. So they
well, it's
proved
either
that.
50% head or 66% head. I'm not sure. That's what I'm
I
saying. It,
guess.
it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So she laid, how many eggs did she lay? Like 7 or 8 or whatever. I hatched out
It
7
was
or 8.
at it was at your house.
Yeah, yeah. So I hatched out 8 of like 10. Um, Babies came out, and I was like, fuck. I didn't hit any marbles, any exanthic granite, marbles and exanthic granite. It's pretty disappointed, but I was like, hey, whatever. The entire clutch is granite because both parents are granite. But two of them popped out. looking really different. But I was like, I actually, even on my, like, I have the names and what they are. I removed the possible head granite on the female. I just wrote, now she's just a, 2023 granite, not 66% head granite. So I was like, let me remove that chunk off of the name tag. She is now just a proven granite, not a proven whatever. And I showed Shan today the animals. So now go for it. Tell him what it is that you think I have.
So two of them, well, one of them for sure is, so he definitely proved it out. So this animal, I'm pretty positive. So there's four of them. One of them is definitely a marble. The other ones, I I don't know, Dom. What do you think? I think it's marble.
So my thinking is,
Could be granite het
so
exanthic.
I think there's three marbles. I'll wait another two shed. I think there's three marbles. Again, marbles it's a dumb term. I don't know. I just like saying it because it's one word. There's two exanthic, and the exanthic is a homozygous exanthic. So you've got exanthic on both genes. There's two homozygous exanthic granite, and there is two, I would say, granite het exanthic, and you can tell because they've got a reddish tint to them. Like they're like reds. Is the best way to put it. Like they're reds. They're not white. And then two weirdos. And the two weirdos are the two weirdos that when they hatch out of the clutch, the best way I can say it is if you've ever seen like a white-sided bull snake or a white-sided, what is that? I think black rat snakes have them too.
Yes.
Like from the middle of their body on the side to down, they were born white. On that side. They've shed once, and they are crazy pale, but they're pale with a reddish tinge. So I don't think they're I don't think they're homozygous exanthic. You seem to think they are.
So the one, I think you're right, but the one, if you look at its head, it looks like a marble. Like it's white. It's got a white head, man.
Right.
It's incredible. It's a
So
really cool looking snake.
we don't know. They're two boys, so I can guarantee Shan's gonna get one of them.
Yay.
Because I don't want two boys, and I don't want to sell it, so I need to make it go somewhere that I can keep an eye on it, and no better place than Shan's.
Yeah,
So
you're definitely helping my hoarding problem.
I have no problem anytime. So basically, they look white sided from the bottom down. The initial pictures are kind of cool. It's weird. I don't know what to say. I actually haven't even taken pictures, so it's something that I'll post up, and maybe next show I can load up pictures to actually have them because I don't even have any on my phone, so I can't even compare them. But it is a weird clutch. It is very interesting. I can tell you two of them I'm selling for sure. The hets are no question now. The three marbles, I need to make sure they're marbles because I don't want to sell them for under because the marble it's an expensive animal.
Yep.
And the other two are just weird. I can't explain what it is. I don't know if it's like a reduction in pattern, if it's like because there are such a thing that people are calling hypos, which makes no sense. They're calling them hypos, or it's more of a reduced pattern on the side, is what I would call it more. But I have no idea what they are. I have no idea what they'll take to or what they're going to end up in. But I think it's an interesting it's an interesting project. It just means more holdbacks. But on the same token, Shan and I were going through some of my snakes, and I'm like, fuck, man, I actually can breed pure marble to pure marble technically next year. Which I don't even know what I do because let's be honest, I don't think I'm going to sell any in Canada, or I might sell one or two. But it's such an expensive animal that I can't sell it for $500. Like it's an animal that I think I've seen one ever for sale in Canada, and they were asking $2,800 for it.
Yep.
I now have a 1.2. You have a 1.2, and I have I think three more that came out this year. So
I only
you have sorry, you have a one. You have a male.
I have a male.
You have a male, but if you
Yeah.
have a female, that's oh, sorry guys. Shan's mom is calling.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's my boy.
Go for it. Put yourself on mute if you want to pick it up.
Okay. Okay.
So there you go. He's successfully done. Everybody, if you want to make fun of his ringer, that was quite special. Um, so except for that, yeah. So I've got a good amount of marbles. Now, where to take that project after? And I've tried to really think of where do I go with a white granite? Honestly, I don't know. My granites are crazy busy. Like I've seen some granites that have like the pattern in them. My granites are literally speckled with almost no pattern. So I'm not quite sure where I'm going to take that project. If I'm just going to try to breed for wider and wider, because if you know anything about exanthic is again the wrong terminology. An exanthic is not axanthic, it's hypoxanthism is the real terminology of the gene. But nobody calls them hypoxanthism. Hypo is reduction of the xanthic, which is the yellow or red pigment, depending on yeah, depending on whether you call it xanthic or what's the other one that a lot of people call when you have the anery. But it's the same gene. It's the same thing. That's why you never have an animal that's aneurystic and exanthic because it's the same gene. We just call it different terminology depending on the animal. Anyway, my point is, where do I go from there? I don't think I can change the pattern because my animals are crazy pattern. All our granites are crazy pattern. So I think I might breed for wider exanthic. And what I mean by wider exanthic is that an exanthic simply means you've got the xanthic gene on both alleles. Now, you could have an animal that is het and have only a 15% reduction of the yellow pigment. You could have an animal that's het that would have a 60% reduction in the yellow pigment. If it only has it on one allele, it is still het exanthic. But if it has 60% reduction, it's going to look like an exanthic, but it's not. It's a het. And then you could have an animal that has it on both alleles that will breed like an exanthic, but it might look like shit. It might only have a 50% reduction of the exanthic, but have it on both alleles. But it might also have, you might also have animals that have an 80, 90, 95% reduction and still breed the same way as the 50%. So that's where the problem is with the exanthic gene, right? It's because if you have it on one allele, it's like my one female that produced it first is great. She looks fully exanthic, but she's het exanthic. And I know because I've bred her and she breeds out of the het exanthic. You can prove it out. If I breed her to a het exanthic, I'll get the perfect 25% will be exanthic, 50% will be het, and 25 will be none. But she looks exanthic. That's why I hate. It's why it's a gene that can be a bit tough to say. And again, the terminology is wrong. Axanthic, the A means absence. It is hypo. It is reduction. So anyway, my whole point of that is that I think I'm going to take the project into going white, going bone white. Because some of my animals, like I showed you my trio of somewhat adult marbles, so 2.5-year-old marbles. They're pretty white, but they're not perfectly white. There's still color in there, right? Not a lot, but there are some. So I think you could selectively breed for brighter colors. And I think if I had an entire clutch of marbles, I mean, I've never had that, but it would be cool to selectively pick that. And I mean, some people are doing it. The person I know that the most that has done it is probably UK Python. He's got full clutches of marbles, but they're not pure. He'll have hypo marbles to a caramel marble. Like they're all mixes and technically hybrids. I don't think he's bred anything that is a pure marble. And as you guys know, Shan and I think we've turned into purists. I think we just got to accept it. We've turned into purists. Back then, we were doing the Frankenstein shit, but we got old. We changed. You're on mute, Shan. You can keep talking away, but
I still have one project that's kind of.
Which one's that?
I want to hit the albino super zebra.
And I respect it. I only have one project, but that I'm actually possibly letting go. I think it is drums and snakes. Eric is talking about taking one of them. It's technically it is pure, but technically it is not. It's the albino granite. So the albino granite, according to the new book of the complete carpet python, a Papuan carpet python is the same as a Darwin carpet python. It is now Morelia spilota variegata. Is it variegata? I think it's variegata. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. So they're the same. So technically speaking, a albino granite carpet python can be pure. I think you're mixing localities. Is it pure? Right now it is. What if one day we end up deciding that Papuan carpets are not the same as Darwin's? Then all of a sudden it's no longer pure. But right now it is. It's one of the ones that I think I'm getting away. The problem is that I think I've shown pictures. My issue with exiting that project is that I've had one weirdo pop up a few years back, and I have a mosaic albino het granite. And because he's mosaic, I can't get rid of that. Like, I'm never going to pop out a mosaic again. Like, it's just a genetic anomaly. It's not reproducible, but it's freaking cool. I have an albino with black speckling all over it. It makes no sense, right?
So I think I have a mosaic super zebra.
I told you about I saw that. Your pictures. That? You might, eh?
I haven't posted anything. I just showed you, and I'm letting everybody know. It hasn't shedded yet, so that's why I haven't really taken pictures, and I haven't just kind of gotten ahead of myself and say something stupid like, "Hey, this is what it is." I really don't know what it is, but it's got a lot of flecking. Like,
I think you might need to wait for it to grow up.
Yeah,
because there is a little bit of flecking on supers, but most of the ones we produce tend to be like one matte color, right?
It's white flecking I usually find on supers, and this is black flecking. So I don't know.
I think you might have something. Definitely raise it up and see what it does, right?
Well, let's hope it eats, and it hasn't even shedded yet, so we're far away from it. But I'll keep people posted on it. But yeah.
So just real quickly, he's writing: "Am I breeding pure Papuans one day or not?" You are and you're not. It depends. If you are going according to the new carpet python book, it is a pure.
So how?
It is a pure variegata.
What's he breeding though?
No, that's what I said. Is that I think he wants to buy a part of my albino granite project. So is it pure?
Okay.
Right now, it is.
Yes.
Mixing a Darwin with a Papuan carpet python is pure because genetically, Papuan carpet pythons and Darwin carpet pythons are basically the same thing. So it is a pure pairing. Now, we've always separated Papuan carpets and Darwin carpets, and they weren't considered pure before, but they are considered pure now. So it is up to you to decide whether it is pure or not. I have produced one albino granite carpet python, one. And that little fucker does not eat and does not grow and eats only pinkies at 3 years old. It is horrible, but I still keep it alive because it's so cool.
So I also have an albino 100% het granite.
A boy or a girl? A boy.
I'm trying to get rid of.
But it's a boy, yours, right?
I think it's a boy, yeah.
Yeah, because
it's got a little bit of a barely, but it has a little. One eye just a tad bigger. Maybe it's just my eyes.
Yeah, you told me that last time, which is weird. I think
it looks like it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Just a hair bigger. It just looks off. I don't know. I'm just worried about selling it to somebody and somebody give me a hard time. But if somebody wants a cheap, so that's the only thing I have of an albino granite project. I don't have anything. That's
your last male, and I told you I don't want it because I've got 2 males of the project, and I can't get rid of the mosaic. So is it pure or not? It is pure. Is it? It'd be like saying like mixing your ivory or okay. How about this? It'd be like the Jalton jungles when they called them Jalton jungles. When they called them Jalton jungles, to that was it. It was considered pure then because they called it jungles, only to find out that Jalton jungles are not jungles
They're
at
not
all.
jungles. They're
They're Darwins.
variegata.
They're
Yeah, that's
Darwins.
right. They're
So
they're
now,
variegata, right?
if you bred a gelatin jungle to your albino Darwin, is it pure? Yes, it is. Should you do it? I mean, not
No.
really, but you're breeding a locality that is still 100% pure. It is a locality carpet, right? But it's still pure. It's 100% pure. That one, there's no debate.
So
It is a Darwin.
so okay, but are you telling me that somebody should be taking a West Papuan snake and then bringing it to a gelatin? It's pure,
It's pure. Technically, right now, it's pure.
but it would look ugly. It would look ugly. I'm sorry to tell you. I don't know.
It.
I don't think it would look good.
I don't disagree, but
I wouldn't do it. I just
but
wouldn't do it.
the word pure, according to the current
Yep, you're
taxonomy
right.
right now, it is pure. And the taxonomy was based on, stop eating my goddamn wire. The taxonomy was based on genetics the last time. And the genetics say that Papuans and Darwins are the same. It's hard to argue, man. So is it pure? Yes. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
So I want to go on somebody that commented on something there. So how are the hypo caramel coastal carpets turning out? You know what we should do, Dom? So
What's that?
so just to let everyone know, Dom went into extensive detail and took pictures with numbers of all that clutch and sat with so Nick Munn called them up and they were on the phone for like 2 hours and he went through them and so now they're like almost 2 years old.
They're over
Almost
2 years old. They're 2.5.
They're 2024s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But it would be really neat to just go and say, hey, listen, here's the picture from when you
That's true
showed
because we
Nick,
kept them all. We could show the babies and what they turned out to
right?
after.
The progression.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I'd love to do that. We should do that.
It would be work.
It would be a lot of work. It will happen, but I
How
think
are
we
they
should do
turning
that.
out? They're insanely gorgeous. I
They're
don't know what else
fucking-
to say. Like they're
Some of them are really gorgeous.
and I suck at posting some of the snakes I've had for a long time, but some of them are incredible. They are orange. I don't know how else to describe them. Like
I agree.
they're gorgeous.
Number 4 is freaking, and some of it is the orange with it's so they're all het for Xanthic, but I feel like some of them show high expressions of the
of course
the gene, right?
Xanthic is between.
So that with the splash of the like orange, like you said, wow.
Well, they're all
They're
hypos and they're all caramels or super caramels. And they have tiger lineage. Some of them have full striping. Some of them have 80% striping. It depends. They only had one parent that was a tiger. So, yeah. So last thing, because we're going to have to eventually close it out. I think that the book actually put New Guinea carpets closer to gelatins. So that's what Lisa's saying, right? I agree with you, but they still put gelatins, New Guineas, Darwins, not Port Douglas, what is it? There's another type of locality carpet. They put them all under
York, right, isn't it?
Port York. I don't know. Anyway, you're on it, but that other locality of carpet, they put them all under Variegata. So technically speaking, when you're talking about purity, it would have to fall on that. So yes, gelatins are Variegata. Why are they called jungle? We don't call them gelatin jungles anymore. We call them gelatin Cape York. Thank you. We call them gelatin. Lisa. Yeah, thanks. Thank God somebody knows what they're talking about.
Right.
It's not us. It used to be called gelatin jungles because I think people thought they were jungles. They're not at all. So it is. That's why if you call them gelatin, it's a gelatin carpet python, which is a locality of Darwin carpets.
They're amazing, but I'm a little biased. I don't know.
Well, you're biased because you happen to have some pretty nice specimens.
Did you see that guy? I think he's in
the
Europe.
States?
Yeah, no, Europe. Craig Woods. He's
I
He's
thought he
pretty
was
much.
States. Yeah, he's
I
got
mean,
gorgeous.
he's
They
he,
look so
look.
similar to yours.
Just to let everybody, we kind of joke around. He's joked around online a few times, and we kind of like probably poke each other. But he's like my closest competition, I would say. He's got a few of them that look really amazing. He's got a few of them that got some really nice lines. Like the line on it
Craig
is like
is Craig Lisa. If you
it's
know this, is Craig
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 Craig Woods.
Craig Woods. Is he from the States or is he from Europe? She knows everything. It's Lisa. Come on, Lisa. Um,
He's got some nice IJs or West Pophams too.
yeah.
He does, yeah. Yeah, really nice stuff.
I
Excuse me.
mean, both of you guys. I mean, let's be honest. I think
It's
they all come from the same place. Like, isn't it only Paul that had him initially? Didn't they
so
all derive
Paul.
from
So
there?
yeah, they came from Paul, but
So
like I think we've been fortunate. I feel like I've been fortunate. The animals that Paul gave me, they were really nice animals, and they turned out some really nice stripes. And you gave it to somebody like me that's a hoarder, and I'm gonna keep them, and I'm keeping all the best stuff. But I think Craig's doing the same thing, right? That's what it's all about, the projects, right? So keeping the best stuff. So Dom's got some of it. So yeah.
yeah, I actually had to. I actually got rid of my initial pair that I got from you only because you kept all the perfectly striped ones and just gave me the crappy striping. So the next year, I was
Oh,
like,
crappy striping.
oh, come on, you kept back the 95 to 100% perfect striping, and I was like, all right, I think one of them had 30% striping, and I was like, you produce more the next year, and I'm like, you're not going to keep them all. I want the perfect striping, so
All
I
right. So you're not being truthful here. So the
some.
30% stripe was true, but it was the only male. So I want to give him
Yeah,
a pair.
yeah, yeah,
There you go, right? See,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
admitting
yeah.
to it now. So he didn't have a pair. So the first year I had 10 eggs. I had 8 females, 2 males. So like pretty good, but like I would have liked to have more males so I
It's
could,
almost sometimes if
you
it's
know.
too imbalanced, it actually isn't good because it's
Right.
hard to move. If everybody has females, they all want the males. If everybody has males, they want females. So I like to have a like 40% male, 60% female is like the ideal number.
Agreed. Yeah. But I've had them twice now, so then like we replace stuff. So it's good. I
Yeah,
think the stuff we have now is good. I still
I
have a
would.
few to get rid of.
Yeah, we'll move them. I think we're gonna. You're gonna have you're turning out to have a pretty decent year. You're gonna have pretty reasonable numbers. I don't think it's gonna not gonna be your best year, but it's gonna be a good
No.
year. I turned out to have starting with a really shitty season. I've had good amount of crappy dud clutches and all that. I'm gonna probably end up with about 50-ish animals produced, which it's not a bad season. It's far from a great season. I mean, considering I've hit 3 years in a row above 100. Um, and don't get me wrong, I never want to hit above 100 again. But my goal is between 80 and 100 is my sweet spot that I want to produce. So
Yep.
50 was definitely low. But last year at 130-ish was don't do that again ever. So I guess I balanced
Did
myself.
Did you do 130 last
Yeah, I
year?
did 130-ish.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was a
Wow.
last year was my biggest season, man. I think I had
So
16 clutches. It was ridiculous,
we did
insane.
our biggest seasons together last year
Yeah,
because
and this
last year
year
was
is
my
just a
biggest.
shitty ass season.
Yeah,
Like I had 3 full clutches of slugs, actually 4,
I had
and I freaking
14.
lost. I had a clutch I didn't even know I had, like one of the pygmy clutch. I found like 3 weeks later, all dried up, like just shitty luck. Like it's just like so 4 clutches of just bad eggs. Like that's the worst I've ever had. But you know what? I didn't lose a female. All my girls are good. Well, I lost one female a little while ago on the move, but that's not related to breeding. So overall, I mean, I can't complain too much, and still enough that I'm going to make enough money to pay for my hobby for another year. That's the way I look at it. I love when at least I break even. I think I'm actually still going to probably make over break even. If I say that my season's going to cost me, I don't know, keeping my snakes every year, I've estimated that it probably costs me around 7,000 a year to keep my animals. If I counted the amount of money that I put into food, don't get me wrong, I get the food for free from Shan, but I consider it that you still got to feed the animals. Um, which, thank you, by the way. If you consider that, you consider your electricity bill. I've always told myself that I probably pick, I don't know, I probably spend an extra $100 of electricity a month that is just on my snakes. Uh, if you look on the extra materials you're buying, you're always buying a new thermostat here, new things like that. I'd say our hobby is probably a 5 to 7,000 a year. What do you think? You think I'm off or more?
Yeah, that's definitely correct. If you're
Yeah.
paying for food, it's a little different for me. The rats. I mean, that's like almost like a little mini business. So for me to keep things going and to keep the variety going and to supply Dom and I also sell off to the side to other people. I do okay with it. It covers the bills.
It
That's the
covers
thing.
the bills and puts
But
puts
but
gas
I
in your car.
but I spent a lot of money on the feed is starting to get really expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 bags of feed for rodents is almost $800-900, right? So yeah, and every 2 months, that's what I'm. But I've got customers coming in and spending $500-600 on rodents, right? And I still get all my rats for free, and so does Dom.
And
So
mine. So I
right,
definitely
so
benefit because I don't need to clean any of those cages. I always feel bad, man. The
yeah,
amount of
yeah,
work
yeah.
that you have to do with that urine
It,
smell. Ah,
that's
you're a brave
definitely
man.
it. I mean, that's just one part of it. Like, there's the bagging and the putting the animals down, and you know,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a lot of work.
it's definitely a
And
lot of
then
work.
I have four freezers full of rodents in the house. Right, I have
Oh,
more rodent freezers than regular human to for food consumption,
oh
because
my.
I won't keep that the same. Like, my wife would kill me if we fucking put food in a rat freezer. It would never happen.
Uh,
Well, my wife is very like so. My wife will support me every which way
she's a
on the
patient
hobby.
woman.
She will do anything. She's totally cool with me buying anything. I tell her I bought another snake or I'm getting 10 snakes from whatever. She doesn't bat an eye about anything. Nothing. But there's limits. And that's one of them. You don't put like the food like that. Yeah. No.
She doesn't want to grab her berries for a smoothie beside a big dead rat. It just doesn't work that way, guys. It's just
Right. That's
or you
right.
don't like do your like an old juice to try to get your animals going with the same
Yeah.
blender as their smoothie. There's just
Your,
lines. You
your
don't cross those
reptibites.
lines.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
don't put
right.
your reptibites in the same place.
Yeah,
Right
nice.
right beside the frozen pizza.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Do you have any closing things you want to chat about before we close it out?
Uh, no, I think we've covered quite a bit today.
That was fun, man. Like, I like just chilling and moving forward. I think I'm going to say it. I think we're going to have more shows that I like, more shows that Shan likes. So we might have a couple more Python shows for the next little while. I apologize for not having Salamander or not having any Colubrids or not having any things like that. We're just going to do shit we like because when we do too many shows that I have less interest in, I kind of get less interested. And during Mike's absence, Shannon and I are going to try to keep this boat running. And if that means more shit that we like and we keep going, that's the whole goal, man. So we're going to see. We're going to try to find guests that,
I'm I'll try reaching out here and there to
yeah, I
some
think we
people
should
if
and
that's
try to figure
okay.
it out. We might do another 1 or 2 shows, just him and I, until we line up new guests. Because let's be honest, it was mainly Mike doing that thing. Like I was the second in this, not the first in this. So I like just letting Mike take care of everything, and then that. So I'm going to try to step up a little bit, which is hard for me because I was just the guy that showed up and talked. I wasn't the guy that was supposed to figure all this shit out. But Mike's still in the background. He's actually still going to be. setting up the podcast, sending the emails, and loading them up. So we appreciate that. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
And lastly, man, Shan, why don't you tell people how can they get a hold of you if they want to, I don't know,
Don't
buy
have
a
much
Twelton
left
from
this
you?
year. I'm so one thing I guess I could talk about that we could touch a little bit, and I want to see what you think about this. So somebody got mad at me today. Apart from that, this I know we had talked about. So basically, all our stuff is pretty much gone for the year, right? Um, so there's a few guys that are looking for some snakes, and unless I get a deposit, then things are still whatever, right? So when Dom told me that everything's pretty much sold, anyway, I had been talking to this one guy online this week, and he had been talking to me. Not the same guy that we were talking about this today, there, Dom. Just to let you know, but so I've been talking to this guy, and he's just like, he wanted brettles, and I'm like, I got two left, and he's like, apparently at one point he says, let's do it, and I'm like, okay, well, but then he came back and he's like, well, do you have anything else? Can I see your list? So I sent him a list. I did that. I sent him a few pictures. He asked me if I had some uh, exanthic West Papuan, and I'm like, well, maybe Dom has something. I'll check into that, but I don't think we have anything. I got back to him. I'm like, there's nothing. And then Dom told me that everything's sold, and he's like, are we doing it? And I'm like, well, you never got back to me. And so I'm like, well, I didn't take a deposit from you, and I'm telling you right now, they're all sold. He's like, well, I told you the other day, let's do it. And that was meant whatever. And I'm like, well, why didn't you just tell me, like, hey, I'm really interested. I want to put a deposit on it. Or, hey, I'd like to pay for it. And then my next question or my next response would have been, here's my email so I can give you a method of paying. So that was the problem that Buddy was telling me. He's like, well, you never told me a method of paying. So blah, blah, blah.
So to
So,
that, I'll answer, if there is no money put on an animal, you did not agree to a sale. There is no sale or
right.
no binding agreement. I'm sorry, man. No money
I
equals a
felt
transaction.
like he was a little bitter, right? And I'm like,
Well,
well, if and
so
he's like, well, you never give me the opportunity.
that
And I'm
being
like,
said,
dude,
Shan, why
I
don't you get back to him and tell him that I have two granite het exanthics that will be for sale, right?
so he wanted the Brettles, and I told
Oh,
him they're
but
all
you
gone.
talked about
So
the exanthic after.
yeah, but he was just trying to make small talk,
Oh,
right?
okay,
So
sounds good.
that's the thing, right? Like whatever, right? Like he hadn't put the foot down, right? So the
Yeah,
argument was, I never gave him a method of giving him a way to give a deposit.
yeah,
Well, all he
and
had to say is like, listen, hey, how can I pay you for the snake, or how can I put some money down for a snake? I told him, like, I don't like to pressure people. I'm not going to say as soon as I start talking to you, well, okay, so if you want the snake, here's my email, blah blah blah. I just feel like sometimes that's very abrupt, and some people will be like, I feel like you're trying to scam me. I don't know. I don't try to push the sale on anybody. Like I said,
no.
I Dom will say the same thing. This is not my regular job. I don't really need the money, so I'll talk snakes with you. Once you're ready to do it, then tell me, hey, can I put a deposit on the snake? I'll be like, yeah, sure. Here's my email, right? I just felt it was miscommunication. Anyway,
So if you've sold a good amount of snakes to anybody out there who does deal with the public, man, you sell animals so many times and never receive money, and people just ghost or disappear, or
right?
you'll have this clutch and everybody's like, I want it, put me on this list, put me on this list. And then now you reach out to people, crickets, crickets, crickets. I want it, crickets, crickets, crickets. And then the guy I want it might never send you money and it might never be sold. So for me, unless you pay and put a deposit on the animal's not yours. It's still up for sale. And I'm still actively, if somebody else asked me for an animal that you said you're going to wait because you got to check with your wife before, or because your car might have broken down or your dog might have eaten your wallet. Okay. You know what? It is not sold unless you put a goddamn deposit on the animals. And my deposit is 25%. You can reserve the animal,
right?
and
It
that's
was
it.
3 days in between. I'm
So,
like, dude.
hey,
So
man, things
yeah, just
happen.
a random text this morning. He's like, "So are we doing this?" I'm like, "What are we doing?" I'm like he's like, "Well, like the Brettles," and I'm like, "Well, they're all sold." And then he got like really fucking bitter with me. I'm like, "Well, dude,"
Yeah.
I'm like if you would have got back to me and like I said, just anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't worry about
yeah.
it, man. Like,
I'm not. I just thought I'd ask your opinion on that. So
no,
yeah,
I think you're fine. It is what it is.
I
Just
feel
like
the same way as you do. How's that?
just like
So
I don't even know if we want to talk about what we talked about today with the other sale, but
he really wants. I really want to do that for that guy.
yeah.
I
So
do.
Shan and I had a debate. I guess we're going to be making this a freaking long podcast today. Shan and I had a debate. I love to wholesale, and Shan has a little bit of a better heart. And if somebody reaches out to him and wants certain animals, we wholesale and we sold all our jungles.
It's a guaranteed. It's a good guy. He's reputable in Canada. I've done business with him, so he's been asking me. So
But they were
maybe
all sold, and now I got
yeah,
to
but
get two out of what's already all sold, and the price that they're sold wholesale is the same price that you're selling it to him. So, in my opinion, it's so much easier just to put them in one big box and all the animals. Now I got to get two extra animals, do it separately, book the airline separately, package those, drive them out. It's just a huge pain in the butt, and I'm
I'll
like, they're already sold.
I'll take care of those. I'll
I
take
know.
care of bringing it to him. But the
I
thing
know.
is I feel like I don't know. Like I said, for Japan, we can either two less snakes, find two other
you know, I'm
two
going to
other
make it
snakes
work.
to send them.
I'm going to make it work. It's
Gonna,
fine. It's not a big deal.
right? So, I want to make it work for him, just like Piers, right? So if anybody knows
Pierre?
what happened, Pierre, is it Pierre or Pierre?
I thought it was Pia, but maybe I'm just reading it with my French accent.
But I thought Pierre was with two R's and an E at the end.
Well, everybody writes their name differently, right? Like,
Okay, so
you
is
could
it
be
Pierre?
Shan, you could be Shane, you could be Sean, you could be Shahan.
Oh, Shan.
Shahan.
Sure. Okay. We'll call him Pierre.
Sahan.
So-
Oh, Sahan is good. Sorry, go ahead.
So Pierre, 2 years ago, we sold him some super zebras, and one fortunately passed away. I wasn't able to get him.
I think it died
Another-
like 6 months after, too, right? Died a while back, no?
It died pretty much
But
within a few weeks after. So
and he
it's
never
not
told us. I think we only found out like later on.
He kind of did, but I
Yeah.
couldn't really help him out in the fact. And then we talked about it, and you're like, yeah, let's do it. And you know, I feel like it's the right thing to do.
Oh, for sure. I want him to get another one
He
back.
spent
Like
a good amount of money.
So, yeah, 100%.
so
but we
now
only
I
had
got-
males. He wanted a female back. We only had males.
Well, yeah, I had got him a pair, right? So I think you had sent one male or the female, and I had the opposite one. Anyway, one didn't make it, but I want to make it up to him. So this year I have a female that's obviously not eating, that it's going to him, that I've saved off to the side for him. So, yeah, hopefully he likes it. So, yeah, so it's kind of the same kind of thing with this. I feel like it's going to go a long way, you know?
You have a big heart.
I do. Sometimes I do. You know what? For some, because I know this guy's not going to dink me around or, kind of, I don't know. Like, he's not going to ghost me. I think, what are you going to say? Look at you writing.
I'm trying, but are you erasing?
I am not doing anything.
What the heck's going on? Nothing's working.
You just can't spell. There you go. Big.
What the heck? Look, it's just erasing.
Just watch what you write down, eh?
I was trying to write big heart. All right, I give up.
Yeah. You could be writing other big things, right? So we don't want to put that down. Fool? Sure. April Fools.
Yeah, anyway, it's, yeah, I think it's good. I think you should always do that kind of positive things. Um, and he's just a cool dude. So,
So at the end of the day, you've taught me something.
and what's that?
It's a $200 or $300 snake is not worth your reputation,
Oh, it's not 100%.
right?
And
Seriously, at the end of the day, is it
even
really
if
worth it?
$1,000 animals, I would
Right?
send back. I
Right.
mean, we and
Absolutely,
we've
right?
had like didn't we
We've
have
had
we had a
well, we've
$900 sale that
right,
Angolan that came back with a
right?
tiny little bump on their back. I just told him, "Here's your money back. Keep it. It's yours."
Yeah,
You know what
right?
I mean? Like if it's got any type of imperfection and I failed to see it, keep the animal. I'll
Yeah,
give you your money back. And you know what? It's now you have an animal for free with a tiny imperfection and you got it for free and you can never say shit about me because you know what? I gave it to you now, right? Like it's just
agreed.
like things like that happens when you get 100 babies a year. You are not looking at every single baby perfectly to make sure that there is absolutely no imperfections. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes one slipped through the crack. Am I perfect? I mean, I'm pretty damn close, but no, I'm not. Nothing. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
All right,
All
buddy.
right.
So how do people
So
get a hold of you?
um, usually Facebook Messenger. Anytime on Facebook, Instagram. I've been practicing that a little bit better now. Um, I don't know that platform very well, but I've been learning it, so I've been doing that. That's most of it. I'm trying to work on a page, Facebook page for Snake Frenzy. That's my thing. So
That's
I'm gonna
funny.
link
Right
them.
at the
I'm
end, your
gonna link
voice is
them
cutting out.
together. Oh, really? Eh? Oh, it's saying it's trying to connect.
Oh, you're back
Can
now.
you?
You're good. You're back.
Okay. Anyway, it was saying at the top it was trying to connect, but I'm trying to do a page, Snake Frenzy, on Facebook eventually. So that's coming. It's easier than a website, but I'll hook them together and see what happens from there. Yeah.
Sweet. For myself, Dominic Carbonneau on Facebook. It would be Dom's Reptiles on Instagram. Um, and for Michael Gillian on Facebook. And if you guys still want to message him, you can also do it at Reptile Rejects on Instagram. And again, thank you to Cornell's World and thank you to the Western Canadian Reptile Expo for sponsoring us. We appreciate it. And thank you for everybody logging on. If you are listening to this live on YouTube, please click those subscribe and those little bell notifications and all that little crap. And if you
Thanks
are
for
listening to
listening.
on the podcast, you're going to see it a week later from today. And you know what? Thanks everybody for logging on, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
Ciao, peeps.